Hello everybody and welcome to the show. We're about to go live, but in case you did not see the announcements wherever it was that Mike had put them, we did adjust Patreon for you. So war stories are one of those things we couldn't really pull off because, you know, Mike and I are crazy busy. That's my daughter yelling in the background. Mike and I are crazy busy. So what we decided to do instead is post-game VODs. So we already did one last night, and we did this last night, and we already released it for free for everybody. And the one that we're doing for tonight will actually be the first one uploaded over on Patreon. And we adjusted those videos from being a $5 tier down to the $2 tier. So, you know, if you are capable and willing and want to, or not, you know, the Patreon, then feel free to join on there and you'll start getting those VODs. Yeah, sure, there's none on there now, and tomorrow or next day, whenever, there'll only be one. But those will actually build up pretty quickly. Every week that we play, we'll have, you know, more and more going. All right, I'm done talking. But let's go live in about 30 seconds. Sound good? Time me. Time me on this one. Hello everybody and welcome to the show. As you can see, Jack is not here with us because, well, Jack is not here with us. That's actually not even a video of Mike. That's actually a clip it from before that. My daughter is really loud right now.
She's upset, just like the rest of us.
Doesn't she know it's after 9 o'clock? Shouldn't she be in bed? That's it. Let me go get the belt. Just kidding.
The belt?
Just kidding. Just kidding. She's my wife. They're watching.
Have a good night, everyone. It was nice being on Twitch.
They're watching a little bit of football. Have to watch some NFL. We have to watch the Jags play terribly against the Titans, who also play terribly, to understand why it is that the Patriots win everything. So hello everybody. Lost Initiative, Dark Souls, Dark Sun, Dark something. I'm excited. I know that Wade. How did you describe your feeling about this week?
I have been depressed for 7 straight days, and the last 24, like last night, I was up looking through all of my abilities, and I can't meta Mortifer to do the right thing, but even outside of the game, this sucks.
The description that Wade had used prior to, like while we were doing the pre call, he said, "This is the first time I haven't been excited to play on Thursday." It's like, wow.
Yeah,
Mike,
no, it's
how
true.
dare you ruin Wade's fun? How dare you make this not a fun night of the week for Wade?
Well, thankfully, we have a nice DM who's going to give us a way out.
I mean.
All right, let's move on, everyone.
Sometimes death is permanent there, Wade. It's how life goes. All right.
Not in video games. Reload the save.
Have you ever played a fun game called XCOM?
Yeah, I reload the save on that too.
Oh, I'm sorry. No hyphen. XCOM, no hyphen.
I played XCOM.
No, sorry,
2.
sorry. With hyphen. XCOM, X-com, that game. There's no reload.
XCOM 2 with reload.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right, let's jump back.
I'm that guy who plays Fire Emblem, where if you lose, your characters come back at the end of the match.
I don't know if Fire Emblem. It sounds like some game genie
another
hacks or BS.
No, it's another tactics game, and you can't even talk. Mr. Reloads his RPG every time he loses something.
Whoa!
Let's watch,
I'm playing like a
Derek
60-hour.
Pathfinder. Have we watched Scott play Pathfinder?
Yeah, and how many? Wait! And how many seasons and weeks have we done? And how many hours have we played?
It doesn't count. Listen. There's a difference between playing a video game where it's like you just trying to like coax yourself into being happy, and playing Dungeons and Dragons where you just are happy. Okay, so my wife is teaching my daughter how to yell at the TV.
I'll teach her how to yell at you whenever I see her next.
Oh, she already does that. But again,
good.
They're yelling at football. It's really funny. It's very high pitched voices yelling at sports.
We can hear your daughter.
Yep. All right, sorry. What were we saying? Wade, could you please describe last session for us? Give us a synopsis, not an opinion, a synopsis.
Well, you know how like you have one of those days where you wake up and like your neck's sore,
It's not a synopsis.
and then you go to get out of bed and you stub your toe, and then you go out for a drive and you have a flat tire. That's pretty much how last session went.
Yeah, none of that stuff happened.
Scott was like, "Die, Mike, die," and stabbed him repeatedly in game and IRL, and then he's like, "We're done. We're ending the session," and that was it.
There was no stabbing either.
And Mike was like, "Please, no. I just want to leave this place and be nice and not mess with things that shouldn't be messed with." And Scott was like, "No, you're messing."
Chat, could you Google definition of synopsis and at Minion777 and post it into chat? I'm fine with like flooding chat.
I think that was a perfectly good recap
of synopsis. That'd be fine. Okay, and that
Pardon.
was the cherry on top. So you're careening towards the sphere.
Vanilla root beer is really good, by the way.
It being 120 feet in diameter.
Why are we going toward the sphere? I thought we were going toward the dude.
Marble.
Is the dude on the sphere, I'm guessing?
In floating in astral space. And and the dude's standing there, and you are actually technically going directly towards him, which is standing on the sphere. It's kind of like a scene from Dragon Ball Z where you see like, King Kai like, hi, as you're careening towards it. Mike's just randomly rolling stuff. Let's just ignore what he's rolling and click over it. There we go.
What's his HP?
Shh, Mike. Shh.
We got it just in case. Come on, people know just in case he doesn't come back. I need to have something in the backup. So I'm working on backup right now.
Is that the character's name, Justin Case?
His name is someone.
So, So remind me,
That's actually his name. I actually hope his
Uba-
name is someone.
Uba is still with me, right?
Uba is with you and conscious.
Wait,
Yeah.
so that's all I got for health?
So if we're flying toward this guy,
You slowed her right down too.
Wait, what's your constitution, Michael?
It was taking
-1, baby, -1.
Well,
Did I
technically,
do that wrong?
Yes, because you're missing an HD.
Well, don't I get max on the first?
Yeah, yep. You have so max on first.
Yeah,
Which
I'm
is-
not doing the 7th level yet. I'm just doing the first 6.
Well, oh, I see what you're doing. Gotcha. And so yep, that plus 5. So yep, 15 health at level 6.
oh, by the way, brief summary. Pretty sure that's what I gave. A brief summary. Thank you.
No,
Direwolf.
no, that was not a
All
summary.
right,
Okay.
Scott. I'm trying to talk to Uba here.
Okay.
If you could give me a minute. I'm trying to play the game. Jesus.
I'm just gonna.
All right. Good man. For the first time in your life, Uba. So, Uba. We are approaching the man. Mortifer doesn't know if we should talk to him or just kill.
Well, Mortifer, we don't know who it is. We should probably try and talk first.
If he can't help Jack, Mortifer will kill.
You got to do what you got to do, buddy.
You still don't look good. Can you heal?
No, I don't have anything with me that will help.
Mortifer will reach in and he'll grab the power stone that you gave him, the vampiric blade, and he will give that back to you. Just in case. And I can tell you what that does if you need a reminder.
Yeah, I don't actually know what it does.
It's heal for half damage done, 5 rounds. And it's a standard action to use the power stone. So you're going to have to use an action to use the power stone, but then for 5 rounds after, you heal for half the damage you do, so you can try to heal back up that way.
Yeah, okay. What was it? Vampiric Blade?
Yeah, vampiric blade.
Okay.
I will delete that off of my sheet. Hey, just in time.
No, I thought his name was Just in Case.
If this was a State Farm commercial, was that State Farm or was that which one was Farmers? I don't. Whatever. Move on.
I went and got
We're moving
myself
toward this person, and we've
some ice
decided
cream
not to
with peanut
squash
butter
him
on
like a
top.
bug.
Okay.
You don't deserve that treat. You put that away until you earn it.
Oh, trust me, I deal with you. This is coffee ice cream with peanut butter on it because I live a healthy life. And fun.
I'm drinking soda. I guess I can't talk. All right. Well, we're on our way down.
If he doesn't heal Jack, we kill him, right?
Yes.
So you guys
Perhaps.
go careening towards him. Now, again, usually you'd be going towards him at the 300 feet around, but which is pretty fast, not like crazy fast, but still pretty damn fast. But you actually were able to slow down so that you're only traveling about a third that speed, so only about 100 feet around, which realistically isn't that fast. And actually, a simple pulse of catfall would make it so that you could land without having to hurt yourself. The thing is, you're careening towards this guy, and he puts a hand up like, I see you, as I had said last session. Now, as you get closer and closer and closer and approaching him, wait, did you want to try to do one of those things where you don't keep going at him? Because otherwise you're going to stick to him.
Yeah, I'll
like
try to
Velcro.
make the stone gravity. Is that wisdom?
Correct, sir.
I'd probably try this a decent ways back, so that way if I fail, I have a couple tries. Because Mortifer, I think, at least is wise enough to know
How would you know if it fails until you get right up to the...
Well, unless we're... I guess the way I saw it was there's going right at him, and then there's going down toward the center of the sphere. I guess I could roll a wisdom, and then I could roll an intelligence check to see if I think it worked, if Mortifer can figure out if it worked.
Because this is the way gravity works, you wouldn't necessarily go towards the center of the sphere, you just go towards the sphere itself. But that's great, you'll make a perception check afterwards.
All right, so wisdom check. think there was something else I was gonna roll. I don't remember what it was, but
Totally worked. Roll me a perception check.
mm,
Both of you guys are welcome to roll a perception check.
what did that land on?
Well, Mortifer's like, yeah, it worked. He's fine. Uba, you're like,
Oh, it landed on a 2. I thought that landed on the 18.
Uba, you noticed with your natty 20 there, woot woot. You notice that like we're talking last second, like all of a sudden you guys are coming really close. Like you're going to hit, be at this thing within like 2 rounds. It didn't work. He's about 200 feet away. It didn't work. You're about to hit this guy.
Model if it didn't work, try again. And I would try also if we are 2 rounds out to center my own gravity because my gravity is on Mortifer at the moment.
Hey!
I think. So,
Worst
wisdom
case
check.
scenario, I would have just catfall. I still need to use catfall. I was gonna try to speed up originally and just hit this guy at full speed and catfall, so he took all the damage and I was fine.
So
We're gonna fight him, I guess.
it's one of those things where you can do it last second. I imagine you would even just wait until, because you did it so early. I guess you're also falling towards the sphere now. You know what I mean? Because he's going to catfall, which is only 2 points, Wade. I'll tell you, just two power point catfall will be fine, so you absorb the entire impact. However, you Uba,
Fuck.
you are.
Well, can I? I'm not. I don't want him to disengage from me.
Yeah,
So
you can grab him and
Yeah,
kind of
what
like hold
check
him
is
for the
that?
fall. It's actually going to be a really simple reflex save.
To be fair, I was holding on to Mortifer as well.
right now, at this size, reflex is not good.
It's fine. I had set it as a 7.
I
told you it was simple.
If I had,
So
if I had
Mortifer
remembered
starts-
to uncheck reckless offense, that would have been like a -1 instead. So that would have been a 6.
The whole while he was able to literally walk on Mortifer, no problems, right? And then all of a sudden, Mortifer, you careen this way, and you see like you expect a slight shift of him, but he's not shifting. He starts separating from you and also falling towards it, and you like prepare your catfall, boom, like still traveling at normal speed, but you're gonna hit the ground. It's not gonna be an issue. And all of a sudden, you see he's also traveling at normal speed, like kind of moving a bit away from you, just because trajectory just slightly, and you're like, oh, and like reach out and grab him and like pull him in, and then as you hit the ground, boom, same as beforehand, but with no crater into the ground beneath you because it's such heavy stone. You're not falling with the same velocity you did beforehand, like when you were back on Athos. You hit the ground, and the he's able to kind of like come down with you, and then you can kind of reach down and put him safely on the ground. After that happens, I mean, Mortifer, you can stand up to your full height, which is so friggin' how tall are you?
47 feet tall right now.
So you're 2/3 the radius of this thing, 2/3 like from the center, height off of it. So you can see pretty well around the curve of this thing. You see the guy come walking over.
But while he's walking over, I'm gonna go ahead and vigor up just in case.
No, just in case. Yeah. Good job. So Mike, he's gonna give you vigor.
If that works, I would.
Vigor?
No, I was.
He's being what's that called? Scott, being a Scott, being a dick. I don't remember which one it is.
That's pretty much it right there.
So I'm gonna vigor. I think I can do it 9 power points.
Yeah, that's the max you can do, which is 45 HP. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the good thing is there's no duration, so it'll just stay on you.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. That's a nice little bonus. I knew it was gonna last long enough anyway for however this goes.
I think it brings you down to what, like 1 power point left?
10, because we did the short rest on the way down and I mythic pointed.
Oh, gotcha. I'm just looking at the wrong character sheet that's being tracked.
Yeah.
The wrong mini, which is not your.
I've got 10 power points and 4 mythic points.
Okay. So you kind of like vigor up as a person comes walking over towards you. Now you of course see them first. Wade, Uba, do you do any reactions or preparations as they walk over? Also, putting peanut butter on your.
I said, how's their demeanor? How are they walking? Are they walking with purpose? Are they walking aggressively?
Wade will see them first. You'll see them afterwards. Why don't you roll me a sense motive?
There was something else I was going to do and I cannot remember what it was. Oh, that 20! It was on that 20 so many times.
That's funny.
Oh, I know what I was gonna do. Okay.
What?
I was gonna go ahead and use a. I mean, I'm in rough shape, so I was gonna use one of these power stones, force screen, which is a +4 shield bonus to AC.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Is that cool if I do
Is
that?
it? Yeah. Is that great? Because those power stones only last for a minute, but it's going to last for indefinitely.
That is really nice. How do I add a temporary +4 shield bonus
On your character sheet, hold on.
to AC?
Mm-hmm.
Because shield is different than just regular
It's funny,
AC,
if you
right?
go to buffs and you press plus, it literally, the shadowed in text that's there is literally how to do exactly that. Do you see that?
Oh.
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah.
So you can just more or less fill in that blank. All right, moving on. So you call it force screen, call it shield, whatever you want. Shield's the spell version, force screen's the psionic version. So you also when you do that, just out of curiosity, Wade, how does it take effect? Because remember, there aren't always visual effects. Force screen might be a
I think he just gave Uba just gave me this one, so honestly I have no idea because I've never used one of these before.
I can tell you it has an auditory effect, so a display as opposed to a visual. So what does it sound like as the force screen appears on you? It's not important. The person in front of you doesn't know psionics. It's okay. It doesn't matter.
I don't know. It's probably just like a little wave of like a woof, as it just kind of like a wave of it rushes over as like the stone. Power stones, do you crush them to use them, or do you just like hold them? Like I don't know how do you channel the energy from power stones?
I imagine Mortifer crushes them, and that releases psionic energy.
That's kind of how I pictured him doing it too, but I didn't know if that was actually.
Yeah, where somebody much weaker, like say Uba, physically weaker like Uba, would probably focus on it and release the psionic energy and leave behind a worthless quartz or whatever it is stone afterwards, like a valueless stone afterwards.
Seeing you do that too, and me having that ability, I would also activate it.
Mm-hmm. Did yours have the same sound or a different one?
I'd say pretty much the same.
Okay, so I imagine this is like the Master Chief shields just finished powering up, like that kind of like noise they did in Halo. So the person walking over with your awesome sense motive of 10, you see that they're jogging over toward you. You don't get any particular vibe. That you can't tell if they're being aggressive, if they're not being aggressive, so on and so forth. Do you guys react at all as the person's jogging over? And I'm going to describe them in a second.
Let's talk first, Mortifer.
Mortifer will try.
So the person coming towards you happens to be a man that's looks to be about maybe 30s, maybe early 40s, somewhere in that range. Which again, in this world, is a bit haggard, because in this world, in Athos, I should say, somebody that's of that age has lived a very harsh life under a very, very hot and unforgiving sun. So we're talking like wrinkles and sun splotches and stuff like that. Like they've really felt it for a long time. Their hair hasn't like started really graying yet, only like partially turning gray. No bald spots or anything like that. No, they have good genetics, and they are jogging over to you at first, and then you kind of get the impression that the jog, because of the way that they slow down to start walking and raising their hand to wave at you, they don't seem aggressive at all. And they come.
Do they look special, or do they look normal?
When you look at them, kind of like trying to get that feeling off of them, kind of falling into yourself, maybe kind of like distracting yourself at first from the initial meeting, because you're kind of like looking through them as opposed to at the world immediately around you. You do see there is something unique about them. They are special. They have that more than Uba kind of sense to them. And he comes walking over and he's like, "Whew! I am happy to see other people here. I don't know how long I've been here." And he continues to walk forward. He's like, "I mean, don't get me wrong, the two of you are freaky, but I'd rather see the two of you traveling through this place than nothing at all. Where the hell are we? Is this your place?"
Down. Mortifer would bend down and, holding Jack in two pieces, just like put him in front of the guy.
"Oh,
can you fix him?"
What? Can I fix? That guy doesn't have his head on.
That is not what I asked.
He looks past him and around, and he starts like seeming distracted for a minute. He's like, "Oh no, I think I've gone crazy. I think I've been here too long. I've gone crazy."
Focus!
I mean, your loud, resonating voice. You know what I mean? Again, for Uba, it sounds echoed and distant, but for you and him, it is very loud, very resonating. And he like starts and like turns back towards you, and he's like, "Oh, you're real. If you're real, no, I can't fix a guy with no head. How do you do that? He doesn't have a head. Well, he has a head, but it's next to his body.
I have been torn to nothing and rebuilt from ghostly white. It is possible, and I hoped you could do it. You have an aura about you, and I'd hoped it would be useful.
I have an aura about me?
For now.
What does the aura mean? What does it mean to have an aura?
Nothing useful, apparently. Is that enough talking, Uba?
And he looks at Uba and he's like, something seems strange about you. Looking at Uba.
Uba ignores him and he says, Mortifer, let's move away from this guy for a minute so I can speak to you privately.
No, please, I don't know how long I've been here. Don't go anywhere.
We'll be on the other side of this sphere. Stay here.
Okay. Yes, walk.
Mortifer takes, 3 steps and he's on the other side?
Yep.
Uber catches up to you like 30 seconds later.
Really quickly before you get into the RP, Weed, roll me a perception check. Just because of, again, how tall you are. You can see he did not stand exactly where he was or in that exact spot. He also walked partially around, just enough that he can see the top of, he can see you. Unfortunately, you have a loud booming voice to probably hear you no matter where you are, but that way he can, see you, oh, they leave you, okay. Very, very much getting that kind of, off of him.
Mortifer will grumble. He'll try to whisper it, but not, super hard. This man is still probably within earshot.
Uber's going to try and whisper, and I don't know if you can hear it. Do you bend down at all, or are you just standing up?
If you, motion to him, he would come down to...
A knee?
Yeah, he does. Uber says, you said he had an aura. What did you mean by that?
Jack would explain it better. The power that makes us different, that gives us...
So you and Jack had this power, and so does this guy.
Yes.
Could we... And he, whispers, forcibly move his power into that of Jack's body and see what happens?
The only ways we've done it is whenever the person wielding it is no longer alive. I do not know if we can transfer the power through... Mortifer's not smart enough for this! He'll scream that, just in rage, and slam his fist down.
You do that, and, obviously there's a bit of you can't see him because you drop down to a knee. And the guy yells, "Did you say Mortifer? Like, the Mortifer from Rain?"
Normally that would, excite him to have that kind of thing, but right now he's so angry. He you can see him, close his eyes and just try his best to stay calm, but right now on the inside, you can tell he's ready to just rage out.
No response. He comes walking around the edge a little bit so both can see him. He's like, "I knew you looked familiar. I saw you fight before. You are amazing. That means you're not from here. You got here too. You're a lot bigger in person. So how'd you get here? How do we leave?
By bringing him back. Otherwise, we can't leave. We do not know how to leave.
And you think I can bring him back?
I did not know. I simply hoped you would be useful.
How did you get here? Everybody else.
I just appeared here. So it's strange, and I don't know when it happened. Everything just seems so strange. There was a storm that had taken place, and maybe it wasn't a storm. It was kind of like things just seemed off, and then I felt different, and then I wasn't where I was. I was somewhere else, and then I was beneath some trees, and then I was really high in the air, and then I was a different place entirely, and surrounded by sand, and then not. And it just kept happening and happening until I found myself in an area kind of underground, and for a moment I felt like I was there, but I wasn't, and I started to I don't know, there's like a splitting migraine from all the I don't know. And then my head hurt, and then I was here, and my head stopped hurting, and I stopped moving, and I just have been here since. I don't know. But honestly, I all that felt more like a dream than anything else. It didn't seem real. I honestly thought that this was a dream, and it might still be. Because, I mean, when do you get to see Mortifer in person?
When was the last time you seen Mortifer?
Oh, I was a fight in the arena. He was still new, but we bet on him. I made some good money that day, and I told my friends that I went to the arena with, like, watch out for this guy. He's gonna. Unfortunately, they all died from the sun sickness about a year after that. But your name kept traveling.
Mortifer's name does nothing if he cannot even protect Jack.
Jack is the guy without the head attached.
Yes, and he is still there. We just need to reattach his head.
Is this? There was riots that happened in Rame, and things went different.
Enough about Rame.
Okay.
We are stuck in this hell where Mortifer can fall any different direction, and Jack is lying here without a head.
Oh. Yeah, this place is strange like that. You can kind of go where you want to go.
Do you prefer to go to nowhere or to nowhere?
What do you mean?
There is nothing here besides this stupid rock.
That's not true.
What is here?
Well, I came back here just because I didn't like what I saw. Hopefully they
Is someone here who can help Jack? And he'll start like lumbering over there.
He's like, I don't know. I don't know if there's someone here that can help Jack, but I hope they didn't see me because they were scary and they had these twisted faces and they were gaunt and had these big swords, and I don't know if they can help Jack, but I tried to get away before they noticed me. I don't think they noticed me, but I was coming back here because this place seemed safe. They didn't seem very friendly or safe, so I just came back here from where I was. I just came back. I imagined this place and came back.
You imagined it and that was enough?
Yeah? You did it. How did you do it? You came back too.
Jack said to Try falling in a different direction.
Yeah, like you want to go there. Like there is where you're supposed to be. And then it's where you go.
Where I'm supposed to be is out of here with Jack alive, and you to stop rambling. He's gonna sit down for a moment and try to imagine Jack reattached.
It's a joyous image, but nothing that comes to fruition.
He's even more angry.
Did you know when you came into this power, Mortifer?
Did I know what?
When you became different?
Yes. My body was ripped away into...
This guy should have known too. Is he lying? Saying he doesn't know what you're talking about?
Mortifer does not know.
To be clear,
Jack knew things.
out of game in game, he was saying, did you know, like, when all of a sudden you had more power? You remember the moment with which you changed, but you didn't notice that you were different until days, weeks, months later. Just to be clear of what Jake was trying to say.
So he'd very bluntly respond, Ina rebuilt Mortifer from nothing, and then over the period of time, Jack and I realized we didn't need to eat or sleep, and that we could do more than we could before, and that when we looked upon other people, he'll like eye you up and down, very obviously, we could tell that they weren't like us.
But this guy, he's like you.
No one is like Mortifer, but he's more like me than, well, you.
Even nods. Just kind of turns around and starts pacing.
Perhaps maybe he doesn't know he can save Jack. Oh. He's like racking his brains. We just like starts beating his head. What have you discovered you can do? Other than travel in here?
Well, what you're saying is honestly kind of confusing. It sounds like you're talking about
If Mortifer can understand it, you can too. That's like unintentionally a big self-burn on himself.
He's like, so he like doesn't respond right away. He like thinks for like a minute, and he's like, well, if what you're saying, I understand what you're saying. I went places before I came here. And since I got here, I haven't gone to any other places. And then here, I can choose which way I want to go. And he kind of like thinks for a second, and all of a sudden he starts flying upwards. Like, fast and then faster. And then he's like, Sir! And then like maybe a minute later, you can see like he's reversed the trajectory, and he reverses it, and he starts falling downwards. But here's the most unique part about what happens, because you're like, okay, cool, we've done that. Right before he hits the ground, it's kind of like stops and then hits the ground. So it's like a bungee catch that only like throws him back up maybe like 1.5 feet or so. Then he rests on the ground, and the fall doesn't impact him.
Have you eaten since you've been in here?
No. Huh.
Do you sleep or drink?
Well, I don't know if I've been here that long. I figured it's only been like maybe an hour or two, but I suppose I could eat something. I'm just not that hungry yet.
What else can you do?
Well, the friends...
Try to heal Jack. See if it works.
He walks over to Jack and looks down, and it's not the first time he's seen a body like dismembered because, you know, it's Athos. And so he walks over, looks at Jack, and he looks up at you and says, well, it's clean. Like, there's no blood. And then kind of like gets down to a knee and like bends over and he's looking at him. He's like, and this is where he actually does get squeamish. He reaches down and like very tentatively like reaches down to touch Jack's head, and his hand, as it brushes Jack's hair, he like pulls it back like, oh, he's touching a dead guy's hair. And then he like looks up at Mortifer, and Mortifer's like disapproving, like, go on. Like he's
his
like,
hand tenses on his hammer a little bit.
and he's like, okay. And he like reaches over and he with like a big fistful, and you can clearly tell he gets a bit like squeamish, and his stomach like tenses up. He like, ugh, like picks up Jack's head by the hair, and he's like, it almost seems fake. Yeah, it's a really good fake. He's like talking to himself as he's trying to like work himself through the process.
Probably feels the breath of Mortifer breathing out super heavily just while he grumbles and like sighs.
He lowers the head and kind of like puts it up against Jack's neck, like the base of the shoulders is. It's two clean cuts that, because these are effectively like lasers made of the mind, they cut a clean, straightforward cut. It's not like it's like a cut that kind of went this way and a cut that kind of went this way. You just kind of like put them together like you cut a bagel the wrong way or something like that. It's like, no, it's like a perfectly clean cut done by Uba. So he takes it, kind of like lines it up, and it's like, he takes like a moment to like steady himself. And then he starts grabbing like the skin on either side and like trying to like line it up and like pinch it together. It does nothing.
This is not what I said. Use your abilities and try to help heal him. Don't pinch his neck.
He's like drops the head. It kind of like rolls 1.5 times. He's like, oh, and like he jumps away from it and gets him. He's like, oh.
Mortifer can do a lot worse than what he could in the arena.
Okay. I'm just, you're asking me to use abilities.
I'm asking you to be useful.
I'm trying to be useful. I don't know what this is. I told you, I've never healed anything before. I don't even really know what I can do. You're saying I have abilities, and I woke up one day, and then I was at different places, and then I was here. That's all I know. I'll try, but I don't know.
Then try.
Okay. And he looks down at Jack, and he feels kind of like, he stares at him for like a minute or so, just trying to like figure something out. And he gets an idea. And then you can kind of see this moment happen as he gets sheepish. Now, there's a moment that all of us, yes, I'm talking to everybody a part of him watching the show, where after watching a couple episodes of Dragon Ball Z, or maybe after watching The Matrix for the first or second time, where you think, maybe I can do that. And so he sits there, it's kind of like reaching out while you're dropping a deuce, like, I can move that toilet paper. Trying to make something happen, or sitting there and be like, ah! Like maybe you could power up. It doesn't work. And he's like this moment where he's like sitting there and just really concentrating on it. And at first he gets like, feels like he's being foolish, but then it's like Mortifer's like, oh, he's trying. And then like, he's like really trying. He like almost gets too into the effort of making something happen. And it goes on for like a minute and a half. And then Mortifer and Uba come to the realization, no, nothing's happening. But he's still trying and giving it his all, gosh darn it. And it's just embarrassing. Just like that time your friend told you that he could really power up. Like, no, really, he can. And you like watched him and you're like, oh, I want to stop him because it's bad for him. But at the same time, it's really entertaining. I don't know if any of you have had friends that did that, but I had a few. And it was awesome.
We all, I think my friend and I definitely tried the Super Saiyan power-ups when we were kids.
Yeah. Jake's over there laughing like, yep, I know.
Like you said, I think every single person is trying that at one point.
Yeah. All right, so anyways. What was the wisdom check for there, Wade?
Well, I think I set a DC of 10, so Mortifer failed. Basically, the thought my thought that I was seeing if he might think of is that, okay, this guy failed to heal, so now if Mortifer kills him, will Mortifer realize that this guy will probably be trapped in the same exact state that Jack is, where the power might not absorb back out. It'll just be stuck in there at the moment of death. But Mortifer wasn't wise enough to think of that. But that was a Wade thought.
So that means Mortifer goes, fuck it, smash him.
He's definitely pissed off, but he's going to look to Uba and see if Uba's has more questions, or if he can take out his aggression on this poor man and probably get himself killed, because let's be honest, he's beat the hell up. But
Uba says,
to try.
Who are you running from again? You mentioned you came here running from someone? Trying to get away from something?
Not exactly. Oh, I thought you meant how I got here originally.
No, well, you've been here. You said something before.
Yeah, there was a place not terribly far from here. I don't think it was a long time that I was gone, but I just picked a direction and I went that way. And after a time, I came across a large chunk of rock. From a distance, it almost kind of looked like a person, but it wasn't when you got up close. It was just a really large chunk of rock. It was just kind of vaguely shaped, like if you're staring at the clouds. You know, on those days when you get clouds on F. And when I was there, I was kind of walking around because I was there, and I heard voices. And, I went to go check them out, but, I stayed kind of behind some rocks so they wouldn't see me, and I saw these strange-looking creatures that, again, had like these long, gaunt faces, and they were really angry-looking, and some of them had these big swords that... The swords were weird. They were kind of like white, but they're hard to describe because, I don't know, they seemed strange for some... I don't know. It's hard to describe because they're so strange. But they were... loading some chunks of the rock onto a ship that they had, literally like a ship, like you've heard about in stories from before.
Does any of this ring any bells in Mortifer?
No,
didn't think so.
But I don't think that they saw me or heard me or anything, and I snuck back away and started coming here, and nothing's followed me, and he says, kind of gesturing off in random space.
Mortifer, maybe these people that he speaks of could help us willingly or not.
They did not seem very nice. I would not suggest going to them. They did not
You
seem
are
nice.
a coward.
Shuts his mouth.
If this guy can't heal Jack, and these are the only other people around, I don't know what you want to do, but I feel like I'm going crazy already. I don't want to be here anymore. But we have nowhere to go.
Mortifer. He just looks around and is racking his brain. Mortifer feels sad. Mortifer does not know what to do. They're on ships with rocks.
Why are they mining rock?
Rock? I don't know. It was, like I said, a large rock, like kind of floating, kind of like this one is. But they were just taking chunks of it, but not like just any chunks. Not like right where they had the ship. They were kind of getting from specific areas. It looked like I was only there for I don't know, a couple minutes, and then I came back because I didn't want to get seen or heard. But they were definitely being selective on what they were taking. I don't know why.
Where are they finding rocks?
On large chunk of rock that they were on.
Like this one?
Like this, but not smooth. Not like this one is almost like a smooth rock. You imagine...
We should go there. Mortifer. Well, there's
You will
nothing
take
for
us there.
Bring Jack.
I really don't think it's a good idea to go there.
Then where do you suggest we go? Take us there.
He nods and says, "I'll try to be useful." And
First time for everything, it seems.
Oh, I'm so mean. And so he's like, well, I don't remember which way I went, but I'll do what I did last time. I'll just imagine the place, and he starts zooming off, like up into the air, and then whipping around the sphere that you guys are currently on, and just starts careening off in a different direction. Because remember, you guys had walked a bit or whatever. So he says careening off in a different direction from the other side of the sphere. And he's like, I guess it's this way.
Perhaps he'll come back and take us with him next time.
That's what I figured he was going to do, not just disappear.
This fool makes Mortifer seem smart. He just like starts rubbing his temple.
He just silently nods.
And rather than try to make this guy gravity again, we're gonna wait for him to come back.
Several minutes pass, and he does exactly that. He comes back, and he comes walking around. He's like, "Hey, you didn't come with me."
Perhaps
I don't know how to do what you do
with you. Your ability to bounce would save us a lot of pain from hitting something at full speed.
How do I take you with me?
Mortifer will reach down and like grab him, and then he'll reach down like for Uba to climb up and hold on.
Uba does.
Do it again.
We obviously get Jack's remains.
Yeah, we're holding. I would definitely
put him in his like belt pouch. Put him amongst his gold coins, which are
I
massive.
don't even know if he would do
now.
that. I think he would literally hold Jack in one of his hands.
Is it nice to know that the gold coins are just very massive right now? Yeah, oh, not gold. Well, actually, I think you do have a gold coin. Maybe Jack did. Either way, they'd be like.
That'd be really funny if I went to a market and tried to sell one of those as like a giant piece of gold, and then when I left and shrunk the guy's like. If Mortifer was Jack, he would definitely try that.
So that'd be a nice way to mess with an opponent. Oh my gosh, golly gee willikers. If effects don't end because like when you shoot an arrow, if like let's say you guys are fighting somebody, all right, Mortifer, and then Jack like somebody's a skilled combatant, and like Jack went up and just like did like a disarm tactic. Because, you know, he's so good at that stuff. And disarm the guy. And you quickly run over, reach down and grab the guy's sword. And then bloop, bloop, enlarge. So it's a fucking gargantuan-sized sword. And then you just drop it on the ground. The guy's like...
the guy can't wield it anymore. That is really funny.
I don't think I've ever seen that done in a campaign before. That would be a...
I wish I'd made Mortifer a smarter character. He could have some fun.
Anyways, sorry. He's like, so as he's in your hand, he's like, you can clearly tell this is weird for him, but he's like, now go.
Yes.
Slowly.
How?
How have you been?
At
Just
first,
what you did before.
I just imagined the place. Should
Good.
I just do that?
Start with that.
He imagines the place, and all of a sudden, he starts flying across your fingers and gets caught against your fingers because you're holding him, and it feels like you're like holding something that somebody else is trying to take away, but you're like no, and you still have it, like almost like.
So we're not moving with him. He's just not going.
Well, I mean, gravity's pulling him that way, but you're easily strong enough to hold him against the gravity.
I don't know if Mortifer would figure that out. He would just look at the thing like the guy like.
So you can like hold your hand up like this, and he's like like up against your hand, like one of those spinning things the ground drops. Right.
Let's see if I don't know if Uba would figure it out. I'll roll to see if Mortifer figures it out. I think he does. And he'll try to imagine this guy is gravity, which I'll roll wisdom again to see if it works.
What's Uba doing?
The same.
Trying to figure it out first.
All right. So what is that?
He was saying wisdom check if you want to try to figure it out. Wade was suggesting wisdom, and I'm fine with that. It's actually, I think, both of your guys' stronger stat. You don't realize why it's not working. Well, actually, your character's not dumb. What's your intelligence?
A 13, but it's
yeah, you're
the
fine.
modified system.
You would figure it out because you've experienced it yourself. So, yeah. You would understand why.
If it doesn't immediately start working, Mortifer is going to realize what's happening again and try it again. I don't know how long you want the time to pass, but I don't know if it matters here.
You can roll again. Because it matters for something like... So with a +6...
I think it was a 14 before, right?
No, it's higher than that.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Give me 1 second. I just want to make sure I do this correctly for you. Gotta be consistent, boys and girls. Girls have to be consistent too, you know. Where's Astral, you mother fluffer? Why aren't you there? I need transient plane Astral. There you are. And of course it doesn't have what I want written there. That's just a pain in the Kaddish. Sorry. I'm so sorry, everybody. Maybe here? Yeah, this is where I want to be. So this one, it's 16 actually is the total. So you have a 16. So you actually succeed because you got a +6 the second time. And you could try Uba.
I'm holding on to Uba, so I don't know if it matters for him.
Oh, nope, doesn't. So all of a sudden, this guy becomes gravity. This weird transition where he's like...
But wait, no, because if you then let me go at any point, aren't I just going to fly back towards this
you're
place?
clinging on to me, I think. But
So
yes, if you let go, you're going to start flying. I imagine it would work as soon as I am able to take off, but I think you would feel the pull downward. So that might help you figure it out.
Try and orientate myself to this guy as well.
Okay. Like strapped to a rocket ship. Doesn't work. All of a sudden you start... He's like... This is a weird moment where he's like, I don't understand what's going on. He's like stuck against your hand. He's like, oh, I think like your hand is... Then all of a sudden now he's gravity and you just start careening off. And Uba, you feel like, poof! As you're being pulled that way. But Mortifer's literally pulling you this way. And so it's like... so it's 2 G's is what you're going against, right? There's a whole G pulling you that way and a whole G pulling you that way. So like, oh, geez, okay. You know, it's not 2 G's is enough to like hurt you, but it's definitely enough to give you a shock. And so you are pulled that direction, and then you can keep trying again until it succeeds and things are more stabilized. And you can kind of like kick off of Mortifer and you know kind of like careen through space yourself. And,
Yeah, I'd never let go of Mortifer. No, not at all.
And since he is your gravity and that place is going, however fast he is going, you guys are more or less going to be able to match that. So he's always right there within your reach, Mortifer, because it's like, you know, the only way that he can be further or closer is if you grab him and pull him closer, or if you like grab him and throw him ahead of you, because gravity's relative, right? But it would be weird if you grabbed him and pulled him closer. Maybe you wouldn't be going that way anymore because all of a sudden, wait, what?
I imagined I was still kind of holding on to him. But now that he's gravity, if he started to move, I would just move with him.
He's like right here. Like,
I hope he has a soft landing because
Yeah, who would have told him, yelled out to make sure he slows down when we get near the plane.
Oh,
so I don't know if you want to keep trying to readjust your gravity, Uba, now.
He would eventually succeed to make him the gravity. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
That's fine. So you guys are traveling through space for a period of time. A period of time that we'll disclose after this break. Oh, God. See everybody soon. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Mortifer Dies show.
I swear to God. I swear. You better not.
Oh, holy crap! That
Not my
bumps
favorite
me one
character.
in each.
Wait, what?
But that's spells per. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I'm just figuring. Hi, how's it going, Chad? I'm figuring things out. Sorry. Continue.
Okay. Well, Mike, there's no spells. You're an Athos. You're not going to be a spellcaster, are you? Because if you're an arcane user, what does that mean?
Oh, never.
Oh. I mean, well, you there was infusions you had before, and there's psionic powers.
Yes.
And then if you're like a druid or a cleric, maybe then you could have some spells. So, but you definitely don't.
But yeah,
sorcerers
hold on.
don't
Be a druid.
exist.
Be a druid, Mike, for no particular reason.
Sorcerers don't exist. And so that'd leave wizard, and you definitely don't want to do one of those, do you? All right, moving on. Hi, everybody. How y'all doing? Good? Glad to hear it. All right. You're careening, and eventually, perception check. You're going to see it no matter what. This is details. Mortifer sees details. Uba sees details. Uba, chuba, ha, ha, ha. All right, so you guys are careening through space for a period of time. Again, you don't know how long it is. It could be moments, could be months. You honestly have no freaking clue because it doesn't feel like that long, especially since you're not like in hunger or anything like that. But it's like so boring. It just drags on forever. Like listening to Scott describe stuff about Trini being awesome.
Stop, Scott. Stop, Scott. Stop, Scott.
Moving
That
on.
button's wearing out.
All right, so as you're careening through space, you do see a shape appearing up ahead. Both of you guys actually see it before this guy does because you just have a far better perception than he does. He's not a high-level character like you guys are, with all those attributes and skill points and high rolls. So you see the shape appearing up ahead, but then after he kind of points out, there it is. You see that? You guys have already seen it for a while. But as you get closer, you do notice it is in space, slowly, ever so slowly, turning and twisting. It's kind of like spinning both this way and it's turning sideways as well, almost like a double axis turn. Honestly, maybe the sphere was doing that too. It's kind of hard to tell because it's a sphere. No. When Jack was hovering over it, he didn't seem to be. And when he embedded the rock into it, it didn't seem to be spinning. Maybe the sphere wasn't spinning. Maybe it was held perfectly still in space. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you were spinning with it because it was like a thing nearby, and so you're kind of like in orbit. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Doesn't matter. This thing ahead of you is spinning in two different directions at the same time. But you notice something very obvious. It is definitely in a vague humanoid form. Like you can see this large mass of stone ahead of you, and it almost looks like there's a torso that's there. And there's one arm that's like crooked and splayed out one way, so it doesn't just like come out in a two-directional outwards, right? It kind of comes towards you slightly.
How big is it?
Massive.
Compared to Mortifer even right now?
If you're looking at the size categories that D&D older editions has to offer, it's size category awesome, which is the size category you'd use for like a spaceship. You know what I mean? Like it is massive. So much bigger than Mortifer. Mortifer can land and walk on it. So you see the torso, like one arm kind of like twisted towards you at this point, but again, it's kind of spinning and whatnot as well. Towards you, and another arm kind of like bent, like almost like they're like reaching forward and splayed back at the same time. You see one leg is almost perfectly straight, and the other one's like crooked, and one leg is kind of crossing over the other one, so it's actually resting onto it, making two land masses that touch each other. The whole thing connected. You can even see the head, which is kind of like bent and turned sideways, like a bit of a crooked neck, like I'm doing right now, right? Bent and looking off to one of the sides. And you can even see like a blown back bit of like long strands of hair that looks like almost like how a meteor has like a tail behind it. It looks like it's like a tail coming off this thing as it's slowly twisting and bending in space. Again, it looked vaguely humanoid at first, but then as you get closer, you see the details. It's a rock. I mean, it is just a massive rock. It just, by sheer coincidence, looks like a massive humanoid. And you continue traveling closer and closer and closer And eventually, he doesn't slow down. He's just heading towards this thing. Uber, I assume you try to remind him?
Yeah, I do.
How do you do that?
Hey, buddy, slow down.
That is effective.
He's like, how?
Uber looks panicked. He just looks at Mortimer and looks.
Well, technically, we're not falling. We're just with this guy as he's falling. So,
Yeah, when he goes to a sudden stop, I mean, you're stop as well. You saw how he landed before when he traveled full speed before. He just
He,
right
like-
before he hit the ground, kind of like he stopped, like, and hit the ground no problem. You've never been able to do that. Mortimer either hits the ground or hits the ground but doesn't take damage. And
How
Uba,
fast
you
are
just
we
hit
moving?
the ground. That 300 feet per round, so that full speed. So for you, Wade, that'd be 6 power points.
yeah.
I would just say, can't you make yourself slow down? Mortimer did it before.
I don't know. I can try.
We'll try.
I don't know how. Hold on.
If you don't, we're going to squish you.
Oh shit! I guess he looks back and sees Mortimer. It's like, this is the guy, and I am Mortimer, and it's just like, I'm gonna squish you, buddy. And he's like, no. Anyways, so sorry, too much time spent with Barbie dolls as a child. And that's a
Wait,
fact.
how long was this flight over here?
You don't know. A while.
Okay. Okay.
I believe, Jake, you said that you wanted to do something during this flight. Before I get to what's about to happen, if you're talking,
You're muted.
I wanted to try and use a power stone.
go right ahead. Which power stone?
The Shield of Faith
It works.
+2.
It works. Wait, power stone or potion? That's not a power stone. That's a potion.
No, that's a potion.
Yep.
Yeah, I would
Do you
try.
throw the vial outwards so it's just littered in space?
Yep.
Is it litter if it's in space? Like if you bring like a McDonald's bag, like outside of the Earth's atmosphere, you just like leave it there.
Probably still littering. I mean, still throwing it out in the environment.
I mean, there's no like laws out there, and is it an environment when it's a vacuum?
Well, yeah, but that was once probably true of the ocean and stuff too, right?
But it's a vacuum. There's no environment out there really.
Until it lands somewhere, like on a planet or something, and,
Maybe.
or one of those space ducks flies into it, and yeah.
You should tweet at NASA.
Yeah. Let's ask NASA and see if you leave trash in space, is that considered littering? Yeah. Somebody
Here's
take
what
care
you
of it.
do though: you drop it in space close enough to a planet where it just burns up in the atmosphere.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So as you guys are approaching this atmosphere, so you drank that potion along the way, and he's sitting there, he's like thinking and thinking and thinking, and then all of a sudden, you guys are no longer traveling towards this area anymore. All of you are behind a massive rock. So massive that Uba and this guy, whose name you've never even asked, is completely concealed behind the rock from anything that might be on the other side of it. But Mortimer, who is standing at his full height, is standing over the rock and is definitely not completely concealed behind it. And so, Mortimer, what you see is all of a sudden you're standing on the ground and no longer careening through space, standing there, standing over a massive rock because you're so huge. You see that there is you've never seen anything like this before. There's a large structure in front of you. The structure is long. It's comprised of, you believe, bone. It comes to a long point in the front, on the top and on the bottom, with a massive space between it, almost looking like a beak, like a massive, massive beak that's kind of like somewhat open and in front of you. The whole thing is this long stretch, like almost like you imagine like a pterodactyl's head is shaped. Or like those shoes that girls wear that can't be comfortable, but somehow they still wear them when they go to the club. And you're like, what? Anyways, so it has this like long kind of shape, but it has a bit of a rounded back to it. Along the structure, which is very open. We're talking like very open. There's no ceilings, no floors really. There's no. It's just a very open structure with all these different levels and whatnot on it. On the structure that seems to be comprised of many different. You think they're bones or chitin or something, but they're like deep, deep red, almost brownish in color, as opposed to like a white bone like you typically imagine. Coming off of this thing, upwards, down, to the sides, out the back, are these massive bits of, again, bone that seems to have like a bit of like fin or wing or something like that coming off of it. Almost as imagine if you took like a bat and stretched its wing out, but tattered in all the different directions. But these wings aren't like a bat like you'd hold. They're massive. I mean, Wade, we're talking like if you were to stand between two of the bones, feet standing on one bone and outstretched to the full length of your gargantuan self, you'd grab two of the splayed bits of bone that has massive wing between it. That's how big these wings are. And there's many of them all over this thing. Just not in the front of it, to the sides and behind, above and below. That are just sitting there. The thing itself is suspended perfectly in space, not moving or anything like that. You see that there are creatures a distance from you. I'm going to have you roll a perception check to get details. That are moving around the ground and towards the rock. Those creatures might notice you, depending on how you react in a moment. With your perception check, you do see the creatures that are nearby. You can see that they are humanoid, clearly. Not large by any stretch. Taller than Jack or something like that, sure, but not particularly tall by any stretch of the imagination. Their skin is like a yellowish, greenish color. They have bits of armor crested with gemstones and whatnot around them, kind of like strapped to them with leather. They definitely do have swords with them. Swords that are either suspended on their back, much like how weapons in Mass Effect would kind of like attach to somebody's back, but not like necessarily holstered inside of a sheath or anything like that to be just kind of like stuck to their backs or in their hand as they're walking. They do have these like decent sized swords that they have with them. Every one of them do. They have long kind of brownish hair, but we can get into those details when you can see better. But the thing that kind of catches you off guard, well, not totally off guard because it makes sense because you understand how this plane kind of works, is that the very open looking, we'll call it ship that's before you, nothing like you would imagine any ship being in real life world existing. Right? Or even a flying ship like you've probably ever seen on a video game or like that. This is very alien looking. Is that the people that are on it walking about, they don't just walk on the deck like you typically see. They also walk along, like literally up like it's the ground, even though it is upside down-ish, sideways-ish, along like masts that head towards the fins and like head over to a fin and they're like working on it, making sure the tatters aren't too terribly huge, walking upside down on the bottom of it and whatnot, kind of like moving things and working along it, much like you'd imagine an ant on something that you're holding, suspending in space, walking around as they choose to do so, doing whatever is work that they're doing. Wade, instinctively, once you see them, I imagine you get into your mind, I don't want them to see me yet. Is that what you have in your mind?
I mean, yeah, because we're trying to look at them, I imagine that we don't want to be spotted. And this guy seemed afraid. So Mortifer, while not typically afraid of combat, this is an alien place to him. And we just watched something possess Jack to the point where he had to kill Jack. So I don't think he'd want to be spotted until he knew whether or not they were going to rush into fight. But he's not very stealthy, so it's not like he's going to stealth or anything. He's just going to not hop out and yell.
I was going to say, you can try a stealth check to kind of drop down and maybe not get noticed.
Do you know what my stealth is right now?
I do. But listen, you're a massive guy standing behind a rock. It's not my fault you're that big or chose to come here.
It doesn't matter how big I am. That's always bad. But right now it's a -10.
You could have landed with full force against the rock where it was nice and safe, but you pressured the guy and this is what happened.
So he's not going to pop out, but he's going to keep an eye. I mean, do they seem to have noticed him?
That's a good question. Do you roll a stealth check?
If I roll a nat 20, it's a 10. So does it matter if I roll a stealth check?
Well, I can tell you that for every 10 feet you are away from somebody, it might give you a bonus. It's like that's actually, it's a penalty to perception for every 10 feet.
There you go.
So your result is the distance between you and.
I mean, yeah, and if they see us approach or they are looking for us, I guess.
I won't lie, Jake. Not having the chat pool of luck is like hurts sometimes. So anyways, the
There was no roll I could make that would have been good. I don't know what you expected.
a natty 20. So you're standing there and you're like, whoa, and maybe you kind of like drop down, whoa, like kind of crouch a bit, so you're not too terribly obvious, but your massive dome piece is still sticking out the top, and you're looking over, and they don't see you immediately at first. Like this seconds, they don't see you. What do you guys say or do immediately? The guy in front of you looks confused, like.
Well, I can't see them, right? Because I'm too small. So I'm just gonna use a power stone. The blade of the. What was it?
How many of them are there? All right, that many. Apparently that question just really got to him.
I turned 34 in a couple of days, and I don't know how to drink water.
Well, you're gonna die soon, so you might as well try to learn now.
Jesus.
34, when you're right on death's door, especially in Athos.
Yeah, but Josh is older. So you
How many of them are there?
use the power stone. Which one was it, Jake?
Vampiric blade.
Gotcha, thank you. And how many of them are there? You honestly don't know. They're moving about. There's not two. There's enough to run this massive ship that's in front of you. A ship that you could stand
like,
on.
I know there's 10 plus, or is it like
Oh
there's
yeah, over
5
10.
of them?
Over 10, definitely.
Okay.
Like over, yeah, there's a bunch of them. So one of the things I do want to say, Wade, is that this ship in front of you, like if you were to stand on like the main deck, like where there wasn't like a fit in your face, you could stand there, and you could actually stand on the ship and walk about it, but you would not be able to walk about any part of the ship, just any part of the ship, because it's just so because you are so massive. Like if you were a large sized creature, you could actually get about it pretty well, but as a huge sized creature as you currently are, as a large sized creature, you get about it pretty well. Like almost no impedance. As a huge sized creature, you would have impedance, but you could mostly get around it. As a gargantuan creature, like I could stand in a couple spots, and that's pretty much how it goes. I could crawl through a few areas.
Oh, wow. Okay. So the first wisdom roll I made was to see if I was smart enough to be quiet talking to Uba. I don't think I am.
You're dumb, but you're actually decently wise. You have like a 14 wisdom, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if he knows that he's spotted. Like that was more so to see if like they were onto him kind of thing.
They didn't spot you necessarily yet, or at least they didn't react to you.
Okay.
Yet. But just to be clear, the average person is a 9, 10, or 11, right? So some people are a little less than wise. That's me, real life. Then there's people that are average wisdom or slightly above average. That's So you got to look at 9s as most men and 11s as most women, which is why they always tell us why we're wrong, because we are.
Okay, well, the second roll was to kind of get a feel for if this seemed like a fool's errand to try to approach these things. And that's up to you how you want to, the vibe I get off of them.
Wait, the vibe you get off of them?
Like if it seems like they're approachable, or if we should just get the hell out of Dodge.
That's not a wisdom check. I'm sorry you wasted your 20. That's a sense motive.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Hopefully you roll another one.
It's the same bonus.
Oh, not a bad result. Honestly, looking at them, you have no clue if they're approachable or not. All of them look like they're prepared for war. Like every one of them are wearing bits of armor throughout their body, armor that's crested with strange-looking gems on strange-looking metal designed in strange patterns, and have massive swords. All of them are lean and have a decent amount of muscle tone to them. Every single solitary one of them. They don't have a happy face. You don't see anybody chuckling or laughing or joking or anything like that amongst them. You don't see any of that stuff happening. But to be fair, though, you see people doing work. You know what I mean? So why they're doing that and everything, I don't know. If somebody messaged me in Zoom chat, by the way,
That was just Mike saying BRB.
Oh, okay. I was like, I can't see it. So they don't look nice, but they're also working, so you have no idea. You can definitely see why this guy was scared of them. But Mortifer, I mean, you're Mortifer. So,
So they don't intimidate me individually, but maybe in sheer number.
oh, in sheer number, there's a lot of them. So, they're not impressive in size, but you've also never seen a creature like this before, in a place like this before, or even armor crafted like that before.
Mortifer does not know if this is a fight we can win.
Can you sense any power in this rock at all?
Do I feel anything coming from this area?
So you kind of like, if you're gonna bring yourself inwards, this is the thing that usually Jack would do in the past, right? But if you kind of like bring yourself kind of like focusing on the rock, and so you like, you know, kind of like kneeling down and feeling at the rock as best as you can. You roll me a, or would this be a perception check, as I was doing it before? Okay, I saw 20, then the 2, then the 18. Cool. So you got a 28. You do. There's something about this rock. It resonates, kind of how you and Mike do. All of the rock does, but at the same time, it's not all the rock. It's in the rock, like deep in the rock. But no, it's the entire rock. It's strange. It's there, but it's not. Like an echo of something that may have been here before, but isn't anymore. It's hard to analyze. You would need more time to really contemplate it to get any more detail than that. But
if I look at Jack, does it feel the same as Jack does?
No. Jack has the power within him. Weaker than it was before, but he has the spark within him. You have the spark within you. This has... It's massive, because this place is huge. You're standing on it. You're walking around it. It's like you feel like you're just walking on normal ground with how big it is when you're standing on it. Because you're like landed on like the pelvic area, I guess, if it was like a person. Because how massive this place is. You feel like, if you just kind of like crouch down like you are right now, you feel like you're on the world, but with a weird looking sky. But if you stand up, you can kind of like start seeing over crests and whatnot, and you're like, okay, no, this isn't the world. There's the arm over there that I described beforehand, and so on and so forth. You're actually on kind of like the small of the back is where you're standing. You know what I mean?
If I reach down and touch the rock, do I feel anything different?
Feels like a rock. Strange feeling rock. Like, sorry, not strange feeling, like a strange looking rock. Like, you're not familiar with this, but you're also not a geologist, so it doesn't really mean anything to you. But with you and Jack, it's there. With this, it's like an echo. Like, there's a lot of it, because it's like everywhere, but at the same time, it's not there. It's more like an echo.
I would try my best to describe that to Uba. I feel something was here. It's similar, but it's not the same. It's different. The rock is not just a rock, but it's also not us.
Like there was power here, but is not anymore. Like
it still feels different, but it doesn't feel... Mortifer does not know how to describe it better than that.
Well,
I do not think this rock will heal Jack.
Then to avoid a needless fight, maybe we should just leave again.
He'll nod after contemplating for a second.
Can I have... I would actually just say to Mortifer, have they noticed you? You can see them, right?
They are
He
working.
could see them before he crouched down.
Okay.
But
they were working.
They didn't notice that he noticed beforehand. Sorry, go ahead.
They were working, but I do not know if they saw me or did not see me. They might have seen us approaching. It's hard to say.
I could turn invisible and get a bit closer to see what exactly they're taking and why it might be so important.
Things
But I
work
can't feel
weirdly
stuff
here,
like
so
you.
hopefully they will not still see you.
Well,
Mortifer
if
does
they
not
do-
know what works or what doesn't work. Nothing makes sense here. But if you
I
wish
don't
to
know,
try,
maybe.
Mortifer will not stop you.
If all goes to shit, I'm just gonna try and make this guy here the gravity. So if I see his take off, just don't go too fast, or speed up when you see me coming. I don't know.
Mortifer's remembering exactly how this has all went in the past, in the last however many hours, and just nods.
He looks back up at you and he's like, "Oh, we could just leave." I honestly don't know what to do.
Perhaps you should at least take a look and see if you see anything useful.
Okay, and I'm going to turn invisible
Okay.
and make my way around that way.
Not a problem. So you literally turn invisible, and you walk around the thing, and you see there are 3 of these creatures crouched low, and walking over towards the rock. One of them is kind of coming around this way, and there's 2 going around the other way of the rock, literally making their way over to you. The other one kind of like holds up a hand to like stop, and then gestures like a quick gesture, and the other 2 start bolting to run around the rock the other side, as this one then starts rushing towards the side of the rock. You know it's just going to be moments before they come around the side of the rock. Each one of them have their swords in hands raised and rushing towards you.
Are they looking at me?
No, they're not looking at you. They're looking at going around the rock. You just came around it. You happen to be between.
But I don't see their attention snap to me as I come.
No, it's one of those things where you even see it looking at you for a moment, and then you're like, "Oh no, not me. It's through me. Like it's rushing past. And it's going to be at you in moments."
I activate burst and I leg it back, and I probably just shout, "Mortifer, there's 3 coming around the rock."
The guy's like, "No!" And he closes his eyes and starts flipping up and flying out of here.
We never adjusted our gravity, I don't think, so I think that means we're going too, even though we didn't get a chance to...
Funny enough, your gravity did disrupt when you landed here.
So he's not still our gravity?
He is not. This place is. Currently.
Gotcha. Well, if we're not taking off right away, then I guess I would prepare to swing.
Prepared action to fight this creature as it comes around the corner?
Yeah, I would, yeah. Unless Uba says to take off, I would stay here and fight.
Uber's actually taking his lead from Mortifer. Uber's nearly dead. He's fed up. He doesn't care anymore, and he has no idea what he's doing.
2 of you
right.
prepared to fight. Uber, do you stay like right adjacent to Mortifer, or do you or do you make your way over towards like back to where you can see them because they can't see you?
Well, I can move pretty fast at the moment, with burst activated, but I would how far? I mean, how far away were they? I thought they were like running around the rock, like
They are
like
at moments,
running.
but again, you ran over. You said something. That guy's like, "Nope, peaced out." And then again, you're welcome to react because you move very quickly.
I would probably try and position myself to interrupt them. Actually, no. My thinking quickly. I don't want to get hit by Mortifer's hammer, so I am going to probably stand next to Mortifer and prepare. Then I'm going to kind of like slap him on the leg and be like, "I'm here."
So if he's told me where they're coming from, and I've prepared an action for when I see them, can I cleave them when they enter my attack? Can I like attack of opportunity them as they enter the sphere, or only as they leave?
No. You can, if you're prepared action for when they enter the sphere, you can absolutely use a prepared action, which is something very, very different, right?
Good. I'm gonna do that then.
Okay. And are you tapping him? You also going to prepare. Well, I suppose he can prepare an action to hit somebody way before you can, because you know.
Yeah,
You're way shorter, so you don't have the reach.
But if they all enter at the same time, I can cleave through like all of get a free hit on basically all of them. I think.
No, because the two come around the other side. You can get a cleave on them. Prepare action to use your standard action to cleave. I'm actually fine with that.
Well, yeah, just attack of opportunity.
Can I like intercept? Like, trying to think like prepare a charge almost at the single one.
A charge can actually be done as a standard action if a standard action is all you're allowed.
Was that a sneak attack if he's invisible?
Yeah, but he doesn't have sneak attack, so it's just a flat-footed attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're welcome to do that. Like as soon as he crests around, to like run up the last couple of feet and like charge and kind of catch him off guard, sort of a thing. Absolutely, you could do that. And Mortimer can use his prepared standard action to cleave the other two on the other side, and we'll worry about attacks of opportunity after the initial.
Sure.
Is that how we're gonna handle this?
Uba, don't forget you have the vampiric blade on. I don't remember how much that heals, but you do heal if you get a hit.
Half your base damage or something that you do.
Okay.
Okay, and Uba, also don't forget that you've probably focused your sonic energies ages ago. So those would still be on there, just because you haven't really used this character like that yet. All right, well, boys, you've actually got a pretty decent chance at opening this in a good way. Good for you, at least. So that's not so bad. I suppose the person that would be able to react first, just because we want to give Uba a moment. Uba, you can charge attack him if you'd like. Now, you don't have the ability to charge full attack action. You don't have like Sonic Lion's charge or anything like that, do you?
No.
You don't have it as like a power crystal or anything like that on your.
No, I don't have anything like that.
I just noticed Mike was back. Hi, Mike.
If I had time to prepare an action, does that mean I'd have time to do a swift action as well?
A prepared action. I mean, sure. If you're doing a swift action now, sure, but not.
I just wanted to swift action use my shield that I can do once per day.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Oh no, it's not fine. No, it's not okay. You have force screen up. Force screen and shield are the same thing. That's plus,
they are.
Plus
I can't
4 shield
stack
bonus
them.
to AC. Yeah. No.
They're two different spells. I protest.
It's two different shield bonuses. Bonuses of the same nature don't stack unless they are dodge or there's one other one that stacks or untyped. Dodge and untyped are the only ones that stack when it comes to AC.
Scott, just one thing that I'm not 100% sure is the combat expertise. Is that just become active, or do I have to like?
You just say I'm going to use combat expertise the first time you make an attack. That's all.
Okay, sweet. Well,
So you take the penalty to the chance to hit to add to your AC. That's all. Yeah. Don't forget, charge is going to give you a +2 chance to hit. Just for funsies, we're going to have Uba go first. Uba, you're not 2 up in front of you. You're just going to make one attack with your one weapon, even though you probably have both of them there with you being invisible. And the guy crests around the corner. You're like, you go rushing at him, and then kind of like describe what you do.
So he's probably sees gigantic mortifer and starts like charging towards him to attack, and halfway to getting probably towards him, all of a sudden, like Uber invisibly right in front of him, just like it looks like if you could see him, like a punch, because his blades just stick out like that, so he's going straight for the thing.
It's like
and he's running as well.
Yeah. So it's like a charge up and just like a. It's like what are the bad guy ones with the sticky grenades from Halo called? Halo bad guys, big ones. You could play as them in like Halo, 17.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember.
There's one that you would play as.
There's the Flood, which is the
not the Flood. The religious ones.
He's talking about the big, tall, kind of lanky.
The Covenant.
The Covenant.
Yeah, correct. But then what was the name of the one that had like the kind of face, like the
That's a very specific soldier. I can't remember.
Yeah, but so you got to play as one. I think Halo 3 or something, and so you got to use that sword all the time. It was awesome. I see that moment happening. It's so cool. All right, go ahead. Make your attack roll for us there. And don't let us down. Jake. Drake, do not let us down. This is your moment to shine.
Did you use
I have no
Inevitable
luck
Strike?
in this.
Oh, did you use Inevitable Strike? Because you also would have had a swift action.
I did say that
You
before.
wanted to before, so you would just do it this
Yeah.
time. Kind of like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so I got a +5 on it, is it?
Yeah, +5.
Okay, so
+5
I'm
from
assuming you
Inevitable.
can't pump it up.
20. +5 from Inevitable. +2 from Charge Attack. Does this already incorporate your penalty from Combat Expertise? Because you already clicked it.
yeah, it does.
I'm just gonna look at your character sheet, make sure everything's good. Because again,
Yeah,
we
so I've
have
only got a +8.
What he's trying to say is he wants you to miss.
burst. Oh, you have 2-weapon fighting on. You shouldn't have had that one on.
Okay.
That actually gave you
so-
a penalty to your chance to hit. That was unnecessary.
Ah.
Okay, so your chance to hit would have been, I think, 2 higher than what it says there. So you actually total of 9 higher. You actually had a 29 chance to hit, which is a hit, sir. What is your AC right now? Jeepers, I'm afraid to look.
It's -2 from the charge, but it's so it's a 29.
Jesus Christ.
It's a -2 and it's a 20. Oh, okay. Yeah, mine too.
Roll your damage for me, sir.
How do you think I lasted so long in those mock battles?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
I mean, did you pop in and check those out? I think you did, actually. Yeah.
No, I was there for part of the creation. I wasn't there for the battles.
Oh, gotcha. Roll your damage, sir.
Yeah, well, my damage is really, really good. So can I activate the psychic strike thing?
Yep.
Is that what it is?
It's a free action as you attack with the weapon, as long as it's charged. Yep.
Alright, so
Oh, you rolled a 1. Oh,
plus
that's painfully low.
because I moved, is it psychic strike or Zephyr psychic strike?
I'm sorry. Is it Psychic Strike or Zephyr Psychic Strike?
No, here it is. 3d8 because I moved.
Yeah.
And
You
then-
moved at least 10 feet, right? So
Yep. Alright, so it's 10 damage.
hold on. I just want to make sure. Because did you move enough to get the Zephyr part? Because the Zephyr makes it so if you move, I gotta just see how this works. Oh, if you move greater than or equal to 30 feet, which you didn't because it's only a simple charge attack. So you didn't move the whole 30. So it's like you said, 10 points of damage. But don't forget, you also get to add your Psychic Strike damage too. Oh, there it is with it. I'm so sorry.
That is with it, yeah. So
Oh,
that's
jeez.
because I normally have 4 attacks, but I've just done.
And this
I've
is why
done-
Mortifer always won, is because he doesn't have a huge damage output. He's a high AC, high chance to hit, but not a huge
I'm gonna
damage
say
output.
1d6 + 1 is pretty sad.
Unfortunately, it gets better. Don't worry. I
hope so.
You hit him. You hit him for 10 points of damage. But more important than that, you know what you feel? A connection between your blade and this creature.
Aww. That's so sweet.
Both your blades in this creature, really. And so you hit the guy, and revealing yourself completely catches them off guard. Wade, it's your turn. You have your prepared action to do your, what's it called?
Cleave.
Your cleave ability. Now, let's make sure all of your things on. You have double expansion and shield put on you. Are you going to power attack or reckless offense?
No,
Power
I
attack
wanna
does a
keep
way
my-
more damage. Reckless offense kind of compensates for the penalty to chance to hit. Just hurts your AC a bit.
No, I'm not gonna do those two things. I'm gonna keep what I've got. But I've got cleave, great cleave, and mythic cleave. So I gotta look at all the different things that those do.
And it's funny. You almost never power attack. I wonder if you understand the difference power attack does for you in damage.
So
I think
power attack
it's
is
plus
only
6
it's a
damage.
minus.
It's a -2 plus 6 damage. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just making sure you recognize that.
I don't know what these dudes' AC is though either.
Correct. Reckless offense gives you a +2 chance to hit, -4 AC. But obviously,
Yeah, I don't
want
want to lose. Right now, I don't want to lose AC.
I hear you.
So, yeah, I'll just keep it a normal attack, normal cleave for now. Whenever you use cleave or great cleave, one of your attacks may be made against a foe that's within your reach but not adjacent. Cool. So I should be able to hit all of them that get within range with that. Because I can cleave, which hits 2 that are adjacent to each other, and then I can also hit a 3rd target that's not adjacent with mythic cleave.
I mean, that's up to you. So, I see. Do you have to spend a point to do that, though?
No, only to continue making attacks after that.
So Mythic Cleave is a feat that makes it so you don't have to spend a Mythic point.
Whenever
it just
you use
allows you to
Cleave
do
or
it.
Great Cleave, one of your attacks can be made against a foe that's within your reach but not adjacent. You can also expend one use of Mythic Power to continue making attacks against foes within your reach.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So it doesn't say one additional target though. It just says they don't have to be within your reach. So you'd have to spend a normal cleave would hit douche and douche B, and then mythic. If you spend a mythic point, you could hit douche C. That's how it works. Okay, cool.
Well, let me see what Great Cleave does first.
Do you have Great Cleave?
Yes.
Oh, that allows you to just single action, full base attack bonus against a foe within reach. If you hit, you deal normal. But I think it just keeps going.
If you hit, you can continue to make the attacks against.
So as
foes
long as they're
adjacent to
within
the
your reach.
previous
Yep.
foe.
No. So never mind. You will not have to spend a mythic point. My apologies.
That's what I thought.
You are correct.
So with Great Cleave, I can keep hitting as long as they're adjacent, and with Mythic Cleave, I can hit one that's not adjacent.
Correct.
And then I can keep going if there's more after that.
And Great Cleave gives you a penalty to AC, but it's worth it for this situation. Gotcha. Make your attack, sir.
Okay. If I use Inevitable Strike, would it be for all three of these since it's one attack?
Nope, it's one attack roll. Oh wait.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's 3 different attack rolls, so you only get one attack with. It only affects one of your attacks with the Inevitable Strike. It's
I
3
won't do it
different
right now then, because I'd rather have the PowerPoints.
Okay, so I just had to make sure I said that right.
Okay, so I'm just gonna click.
And the first attack, sir, is a hit.
Cool. Should I roll the attacks first or do damage and then?
You can roll all the attacks first. That's fine.
Okay.
No modifiers. These are exactly correct numbers. So that's also is that also a hit? It is, I believe, a hit. Let me just double check. Double checking. There you are. Stats. That is also a hit. Third attack. That, sir, is not a hit. Would you like to modify that with a boost?
I feel like my mythic power points are too important to give away for that right now, so no, I'm just going to keep it.
Okay, roll damage for the first guy. So you missed the one that's over by
that's fine, the one by Uba.
It's kind of like one of those, I imagine, as you hit these two, and we'll describe that in a moment, you swing over at the other guy, then all of a sudden Uba appears out of nowhere and stabs the guy, and you literally have to kind of last second pull up the attack so you don't smash poor Uba. Because one of those, you would have hit the guy, no question, but then the haft of your hammer would have taken out Uba like a clothesline. Like a very large swinging hammer clothesline.
So damage is here plus.
Hold on. Yep.
Here.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
So that's
31. Jeez.
Second guy is 20 plus 8. So 28, 31 and 28.
Beautiful. Now, the thing I didn't describe to you guys as you saw them come around and attacks them is you didn't realize until after you swung exactly how hard it was to see them. I mean, it is very difficult to see the targets immediately before you. They're kind of like shifting constantly in the space where they're standing. There's actually a 20% chance that those beautiful attacks you just made miss anyways. So, for me to be mean, Jake, you first. Roll me a 1d10. Tell me the 2 shitty numbers first. What are your shitty numbers, sir?
He's muted.
1 and 2.
Okay. D10, sir. Attack goes perfectly. You hit the guy. Get to deal with that in a second. You get to roll 2d10, Wade.
Okay,
What
so I have to
numbers?
pick 4 numbers?
No, just 2 numbers. And it's the same for both.
Okay. I'll keep it 1 and 2 as well.
Okay.
Consistent for chat. So
Okay.
1 hit, 1 miss.
So we'll just assume the second one's the one that missed. That way the cleave action actually worked. So you hit the first guy and you deal exactly as you rolled it, 31 points of damage. 30 points of damage to the second guy actually misses because all of a sudden it kind of like whooshes past the blurred person. So you actually don't get to see it, which is why the third attack misses, because you didn't actually get to continue the momentum without spending a mythic point because you missed. So the You guys try to swing and hit the guy. You hit this person, and you send them reeling like boom. They actually break against the gravity on the ground as they move with the weapon and kind of like flying outwards. They actually stay on the weapon as you hit them. So it's like a boom. As you hit them, there's a transference where they literally choose for the weapon to be the gravity, and now they're still on the end of it and continuing very injured, but rushing towards you. So, this is running up at you.
I'm assuming now we roll initiative.
Yes, you do. 1 second. I gotta clear initiative. I gotta go to the tab that you guys probably are on. So let me just, for simplicity, I'm gonna bring you guys over to this tab over here. That's just easier for me that way. Let me make sure this looks good over here. Why did that not update? Did you guys get pulled over? No. Nope. Are you guys getting pulled over to the correct tab?
I don't know. I see a big black circle. It says top.
This is weird.
I saw a fireball for a second.
Am I logged in as the wrong thing at the moment? Because this is being weird over here. Let me do something. /GM roll.
I see two nice circles.
No, not you. This is a me thing. Huh. I'm a GM on this game. Why am I a GM under this user over here? That's really weird. I have to rejoin the game correctly. Why don't we take a quick break? I'll fix this as we roll into initiative. We'll be right back.
We're only supposed to take one break on Thursdays, Scott. You're breaking all the rules.
What can I say? Mike's not here, so, we can do what we want. Bye. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I hope you're having a good time. Mortifer certainly is, because Mortifer has something he can smash right now. We'll see
That
how
is
well
for
it
once
goes.
not his objective in life.
Well, I suppose, boys, what you need to do, you know what you need to do. Click your token and roll initiative for me. I fixed my problems on my end. You are the problem on your end. There we go.
So before I take that 12, I think with amazing initiative, I can alter it. No, I cannot.
Okay, my initiatives are... Oh, I almost got a natty 20, but I didn't.
Actually, that number's wrong. That should be a 13.
Why is it wrong?
We're Mythic Tier 4, and that only added a 3.
You can correct that, maybe? I don't know. Maybe only added a 3 because you have reduced dexterity? You know what I mean?
I don't know. The power doesn't have anything to do with dexterity. It's just you add your Mythic Tier.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying your modifier might seem wrong because it also applies dexterity to initiative, and your dexterity is currently reduced. You know what I'm saying?
Let me see.
I mean, it doesn't really matter for how it rolled anyways. If you look at the what it's listed there, it says 25, 22, 12, 9. So like a 1.2
Yeah, that's
point
fair.
matter.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
So
We can
we'll
leave
just
it
look at
alone
it afterwards. So, all right, here we are. This is where initiative is currently sitting. So you guys are good to go.
then. It is Dex. I clicked it open.
It's funny, his name says Jake instead of Uba, but that's okay. Jake, and the other one says Gargantuan, which is appropriate. So you get to go first, Jake. By far, you get to go first with your 25, not even rolling a natural 20.
Which one is the one he's fighting? Which one in the order?
Good question. The last one in the order, actually.
Okay.
All right, so because I've hit him now, I can activate already like once. I can activate linked.
Correct.
All right.
So describe what linked feels like to your character and how it impacts your fighting style and whatnot, even if it doesn't have a audio or visual effect.
Yeah, what it is he always forms his mind blades, like both of them at the same time. But what happens is when he hits and connects with an opponent, a sort of like shockwave comes through that blade, through his body and into the other. So it's kind of like he would feel like a vibration going through from one arm to the other.
Gotcha. So it's almost like a connection happens between his blade and the target that he's fighting. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, and it feels like a vibration because like the shock that goes through. All right, I like it. Cool. All right, sir, It is your turn. You have your full round. You have your whole turn to do whatever you'd like. Swift or immediate, move in standard or full round, whatever you'd like.
I'd like to attack 4 times, please.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, well, you have, make sure you re-click the 2-up fighting thing and go to town. Because they didn't even get to have a turn yet.
I did click it. All right.
Uh,
So first one.
Before you roll your... Before you do anything else, because that's amazing. Is there... Oh, is that modifier 100% true, the confirmation roll?
Yeah, no, I didn't confirm.
What is
If you remember
How does that work again?
Reminder. To trigger a chance to critical hit, you need to roll something that triggers. For him, it's an 18 to 20. If he rolls an 18 or higher on the natural die, it triggers a chance to critical hit. But the confirmation roll still has to beat their AC. That's how D&D always worked until 5e.
Gotcha.
So 5e kind of watered that down. So, sir, you unfortunately don't. So never mind. Go ahead, attack again.
Am I just rolling all my attacks, or am I doing attack damage?
Because you also have to roll whether or not the 20% mischance misses. So just all your attacks.
Oh, that's right.
When you have 65 attacks, it's better to just do it quicker.
All right, so then it's the offhand.
I suppose it impacts the rest of your turn when you know how things go, but whatever.
Hey!
Okay, let's stop here with your first attack and your first offhand attack. Jeepers, this is amazing. It's so good having characters with a high chance to crit. Roll your first attack and see your D10. Tell me your 2 numbers, 1 and 2 again, I imagine.
Yeah, so you just want me to roll the D10?
Yep, you're going to have to do it twice. First attack and second attack.
I
2
need my
D10,
chance to crit 18 or higher. That'd be great.
First one was the first one. Second one's the second one.
Yeah.
We'll let him level a few more times. It won't be 18 or higher anymore. Okay, first attack misses, which is okay, because the second attack hits, which is beautiful. So roll me that damage for that second attack.
It's not. I don't think it's that impressive though. Anyway.
Sure, whatever you say. Offhand Mind Blade. Click it.
Offhand Mind Blade damage.
12 points of damage to start. Okay. Awesome. Roll me your Link's damage, please, sir.
Yeah.
Plus 16 is 28 points of damage. Did you release your Psychic Strike on this attack?
Not on the offhand.
No, the offhand's the only one that's charged. Your primary weapon.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I haven't released it. Oh, wait, the primary. You can only activate the Zephyr on one Mind Blade?
You can do it on both. And you already released it in the primary, so you can do it from your secondary.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I still have it on the second one. Yeah.
Did you use it on this attack?
I would have, yeah, but I didn't declare it, so
that's
it
fine.
doesn't.
That's fine. That's fine. You're still new to the character, so I'm being nice. Take it and run.
Can you tell me which of the ones there it is? I'm not sure.
It would be not the Zephyr. It would be the Zephyr one because you did less than Psychic. So roll that one.
So the 1d8.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so the critical hit with that one's 9 points of damage. So that's 28 plus 9 is 37. Anything else get modified to that, or is that everything?
No, that's everything.
Sir, I want you to do me a favor. And with your first attack kind of swinging and missing through the blur, and the second attack hitting, describe it for me. Because you killed that son of a...
Oh, okay. Wow. So, yeah, he kind of probably, as he charged and then just got that stab straight through, it probably surprises him. And so then Uber takes his hand out, goes to swing again, and for some reason the guy is like a bit blurry and it misses. But then he like got jabs forward like a boxer would jab with his other one. It just hits him straight in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And then just pulls it back out and the guy drops.
Yeah, and one of the things we hit him straight in the face, not just a blade cutting through the face, releasing the Psychic Strike literally scrambles his brain while it's in there, if it wasn't already. Okay. Like you said, he just drops. That guy's dead. It's still your turn. You've already attacked twice, so you can't really move much more than 5 feet. Is there anything else you could do with your turn?
No, there's not.
What's the range of throwing a Mind Blade? Because you can technically throw them too. Do you know? Look that up really quickly.
Yeah.
And do you want to move your 5 feet towards Mortifer or no?
Yeah, we'll move 5 feet that way. I think it's 20 feet, but I need to find the thing. So yep. I will skip it for now.
Yep. I'll let you look it up immediately after that because it's going to be on this side of the battlefield while you're figuring it out anyways. So you can look that up. Mm-hmm. Mind Blade, throw Mind Blade, whatever it is, because I think it's a first level feature for you. Moving on. This character right here, Wade, is going to start moving forward towards you. But hold on before you get antsy. I know you're antsy. You want to do something. I have to make a skill check. And I'm just looking for my modifier, and it is right. There you are. Hello, acrobatics. Oh, I rolled very well. What's your CMD, Mortifer?
24.
Oh wow, I rolled exactly a 24. Jesus. I rolled literally exactly a 24. I was like, oh, I easily beat this, but I literally got exactly a 24. He slides up to you, no problem. Mortifer tries to get a movement, tries to get a hit on him as he's rushing forward, but he starts moving. He's like ducking and dodging and stepping up and jumping to the sides. And Mortifer's like, argh, as he cannot land a blow on him as he's
Is this the one I hit, or the other one?
This is the other one.
Okay.
And he's going to attack at you as he comes up, sir. He is holding a very, very strange looking, made out of like a light colored, kind of like silvery material sword in 2 hands. I don't want to call it a great sword because it's curved and very like, it doesn't make sense the way that this blade is curved. As a matter of fact, do me a favor, roll me a perception check as I attack you. DC's high because you're actively being attacked. 14, you wouldn't notice anything. Definitely hits Mortifer with his attack roll, and Mortifer is going to take.
Can you check chat real quick for me, Scott?
I don't have chat open, so I don't know what you're saying.
Not chat, not Twitch chat. Look in the
Which chat? Because
one where we roll.
Oh, sorry. Okay. That is going to be adding to your AC. So the AC I beat was a 25 on my attack roll. Does that stop you?
You have to roll disadvantage.
Oh, okay. Nope, that's fine. I'll roll a second time. That's fine. Oh, I rolled a natty 1. No! I rolled it down. It's like his AC's not even that high. What's your AC right now, Mortifer?
19 plus that adds another 4, so 23.
It's not even that high. Ah! That's his turn. Mortifer, it's now your turn.
I think I get to make an attack of opportunity against an attack against the creature now as part of sudden block.
Do you? Let's see. Immediate action, expend Mythic Surge, add your tier to your AC, and they must make attack. Once the attack is resolved, you or the ally of your choice makes one melee attack against.
Thanks, man.
You blow your mythic points. You go right ahead.
Don't want to be hit.
Ooh, that's a miss.
Screw you.
Oh, 24. It's a hit. God damn it, it's a hit. Roll your damage, Wade, sir. God damn it.
I shouldn't have blown that last one, but I just hate you. So.
No, I get it. Trust me, we all get how you feel. And that's 23, 44 points of damage. And is there
34.
anything else? Do you channel anything into that? Is there anything else you want to do to that to make it more? You can even expend your sonic focus to increase your damage.
I was thinking I could use my hammer's ability.
2 points into it.
Can I do that on an immediate sudden attack though?
Anytime you make an attack, you're welcome to add points into it.
Because I actually don't have. I mean, I have the damage down for that, but I don't have when I'm allowed to use that.
Whenever you make an attack, it applies for one attack, but every time you do.
So is that greater psionic weapon? That's the 46 minus 2.
Correct. And until you regain sonic focus, it affects other things as well.
So the way that works is I have to hit. So with these things, being as I have to roll the 1d10, that technically counts as a miss if I roll the 1 or the 2, right? So should I wait to should I roll the 1d10 then see if that hits it or not?
Correct.
So I'll roll the greater psionic weapon if this is a hit.
No, greater sonic weapon is different from the mace's deep crystal ability.
Okay, well the crystal I still have to hit, I think.
Yeah, one requires 2 power points. It does 2d6 damage. The other one, you expend your sonic focus and it does 4d6 damage, but then it has a ripple effect on a bunch of your other abilities when you do.
Okay, I'm not doing that one. I want to do the 2d6.
Cool.
But that one still only affects when I hit. So if I don't hit, I still have it on the hammer until it does hit.
Yeah.
So if this is a 1 or a 2, I miss. It's a 3.
You hit. Roll your 2d6, sir. And I don't think I have deep crystal as one of your modifiers on there. I should add that.
It's fine. I'll just whatever. 3 more damage.
Yeah, sorry. I'll apply that.
So that makes it 37.
Oh, 3 more damage is sad. But still, 37 is a ridiculous amount of damage. So he does not quite drop yet, but he is...
Isn't that the exact same amount of damage Uba did? No, Uba got an attack before, right?
Correct. He does not drop yet, but he is
because this is the one I haven't hit yet.
Looking okay at all. He is slim pickings at this point, sir. You make your attack roll.
Is he the one that's on my hammer?
No, that's this one over here.
Okay, so
sorry,
theoretically here, if I swing my hammer at this guy while this other dude's standing on it.
So funny enough, you think, oh, that's going to happen. Actually, the whole time he was running up the hammer. And so it's kind of like now, and he's literally changing his gravity. So he's like constantly changing the gravity to rotate it around the hammer. So the G-force of nothing seems to be affecting him at all. Cool. It's almost like he's done this before.
They're still adjacent though, right?
This guy is actually technically sharing a square with you.
Yeah, I can still cleave though, right?
Not exactly. He's within your reach, like inside of it. Kind of like if you were trying to swing a baseball bat at something sitting on your nose. Off of
on your turn, you could 5-foot step to probably avoid that, right, Scott?
What? I'm sorry.
He could 5-foot step and still hit the guy, right?
He can hit this guy, right? But the guy that's on his hammer, he cannot hit.
Oh, it's on his
not with the hammer. You would have to make like a melee attack against him, like I said, unarmed strike against him. but that would be 2 separate attacks.
Okay. I will just attack the dude that's not on the hammer then real quick.
Okay. The one that you just fluffed up. Yep.
Is he the one that was okay? So the one on the hammer is the one that hasn't gone yet.
Correct, and he's the one that you hit as he came around the bend. Correct. He went like pew pew. Oh, sorry, pew pew.
I can't remember how well I hit him. It's pretty good. I think it was a pretty good hit, like 31 points of damage or something.
Q is not working. There we go. It wasn't working for a minute. I was like, choo, 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 ah! Make your attack roll, sir.
Well, wait. If he's on my hammer, can I drop my hammer and grab my axe and swing my axe at him?
Yep, dropping him is a free action. Drawing your axe is a move action, and you would still have your standard left.
Okay, then I'll do that.
So you literally drop your hammer. As you drop the hammer, I have to make a check. 1 second. As you drop the hammer, he literally feels the hammer dropping, sees what you do. He kind of jumps off of the hammer, and as he jumps off of the hammer, all of a sudden, like his feet kind of like go from jumping upwards to his whole body turning as he comes towards you, and you literally become the gravity as he's now standing like on your abs. Like he lands like oof on your abs. He's gonna sword up, and he's getting ready to attack down into your like pecs. You are now what he's standing on.
Does that mean I cannot swing my axe at him?
You certainly can. Sure, you can take a huge axe and swing at your belly if you'd like.
But you don't have to like aim it at yourself. You can go straight down.
Absolutely. You go right ahead. You do whatever you'd like.
Well, assuming Mortifer's not an idiot in combat, unlike it sounds like you might be, I'm going to swing my axe like a normal person would at something that's on them.
Yep.
And not try to cut into my own stomach.
Axes are designed for swings, not for thrusts, which is kind of what you're doing, especially
This guy's pretty beat up, though. I imagine it would still. This axe is still bigger than he is.
You're just going to take a penalty to your attack roll of -2.
Okay, that's fine. In that case, I will inevitable strike to give it back.
Oh, hello.
So I think that's only 1 power point. So
It is, sir. It is, sir. Absolutely.
So I've got a +3 on this roll.
Go right ahead.
And this is the axe, not the
Correct.
maul.
The maul's on the ground. He dropped the hammer. He definitely dropped the hammer on this guy. Yeah, you hit, sir. And it hits.
1 or 2.
Yeah, okay, hits. Ah! Oh god, okay. Describe what happens as this guy is now on you with his strange looking blade, literally about to take a chop at your pecs.
So in a movie, this is that scene where like the super giant guy is like watching this little dexterous dude run around, and as he goes to drop the maul and do something cool, the dexterous guy like just leaps off, does like a little acrobatic spin and lands, and then he like looks up with the sword, like probably gives like a little smile, like he's ready to plow it right into Mortifer's stomach, and Mortifer looks down and probably just like lets go of his axe, and it just falls and crushes this guy's head and lands on him and just flat.
Like you were holding it like one-handed by the base of the axe's head.
He pulled it off the swing, and then the dude lands on him, and he's just like, dome, and just falls and takes the dude out. And Mortifer just...
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, I love it. It's so sexy. Now, you have a swift axe, which means if you make a full attack action, you get a second attack with it.
I thought that was only if I charged, isn't it?
Oh, maybe it's only when you charge. That's right. That's right. It's either only when you charge or only when you make a full attack action. We can look it up later on. It doesn't apply now is what I'm getting at.
Pretty sure it's only when I charge, so I don't want to take advantage of that one.
You use your move to draw, your standard to attack, and your swift to use inevitable strike. I think you're out of turns there, sir.
Unless I use a mythic point, but...
Mythic point is what? Because I think it's a swift action to use your mythic to make another attack.
And
if anybody in chat's curious why there's a huge red circle and a gray box around Wade's character...
It's a free action to use a mythic for another turn.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, there's a turn as the initiative thing. That's right.
It's the amazing initiative.
I don't think it's a turn. I think it's another action.
Yeah, it gives me another action. I just don't know. I've only got 2 mythic points, and if we're going to be fighting more than this guy, I'm going to save it. So I'm going to save it.
Okay. And in case anybody's curious why there is this like weird circle and this weird square, the problem is like this artwork is beautiful. Like we all love the artwork of this character right here because he's sexy as fluff, right? However, It's not really good for defining space for a large creature, for a huge or gargantuan
He's a
creature.
rectangle in a square world.
Yeah, so the rectangle is just to define the space as he's supposed to be, and the square is because Wade's still new to the game, so remembering exactly what his character's reach is, this helps.
Well, I've also got 3, and with this Power Stone, 4 different sizes I can be, and remembering my range in all 4 different sizes is something.
It's one of the reasons why we have multiple little Wades that we use for him to use as like a cheat to see what's going on. Anyways, let's get rid of this other little Wade.
Okay, so I killed the guy that had not yet acted this turn, so now we're going to a new round, right?
Not a new round. The bottom initiative. So this guy, it's now the. Yes, my apologies. Yes, Jake.
I intentionally wanted to go to a new round. That's why I killed the guy that was coming at me.
It is your turn, Jake. That was beautiful, Wade. You did good planning.
I'm gonna move and attack, I guess.
Okay. So
Well, would I know, like, if I engage this guy, is it gonna impede Mortifer from attacking him?
No.
Alright, good. Yeah, so I'm gonna move 30 feet.
So that's 25 feet to move to there from where you were.
Yeah.
That was 25. So you can move up 5 more, but it does provoke an attack of opportunity because you're going from a threatened square to a threatened square. So you just have to make me an acrobatics check. The DC is not terribly high. It's just whatever his CM.
Can't I just attack him from where I am?
Oh, you can, because you're not going to Zephyr Strike anyway, so it doesn't matter. You're not supposed to stop in Mortifer Square. Technically you're not supposed to stop in Mortifer Square. You have to.
Okay, so you want me to make that?
Actually, no, you don't have to, because he's 3 size categories above you. You can share his square, no problem. Sorry, because you're an ally. My apologies. You're good. You're good with where you were.
There's a lot of rules, isn't there?
If
I only get the
3
one
size categories larger, so therefore, man.
Yep.
Okay.
If you're only 1 size category, it doesn't. I think it's 2 or more that where it kicks in. So go ahead.
Oh, okay, because he's medium size, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just 1 attack.
Oof.
You rush forward with your single attack. You rush forward. You swing at him, and we made fumbles exist in this game, didn't we?
I don't know. Your last guy didn't fumble when he rolled a natty 1.
I wasn't aware of it.
I rolled a natty 1. Oh, yep, good point. Okay.
It's in your Regicide game you have.
Oh, that's right. I always confuse
Sorry, if
Regicide.
we're gonna play fair, we're gonna play fair.
No, wait, you're correct. It's a Regicide campaign where it matters. So nothing happens.
Right.
You just
Hold
miss
on.
horribly.
Can someone clip that? Wade, you're right.
So it is now that guy's turn. And so he's seeing that 2 people just dropped pretty quickly. And he himself narrowly got missed by Wade's attacks against him. I'm just kidding. He took a lot of damage. And so he's actually seeing what's going on, like the fact that this is very dangerous. He literally crouches down for a second and then jumps up and backwards. But the jump is like impossibly high because he alters his gravity to have it be directly up and behind him the direction he's jumping, making it so that he's literally now flying at 150 feet away from you guys, well out of your range. But
I'm assuming we don't get an attack of opportunity, or we do?
So we should.
You in theory, you'd be able to get an attack of opportunity. I'm just double checking one last detail, and as a free action. So nope, he uses the withdraw action, which allows him to back up without provoking any attack of opportunity. And he, as a free action, switches his gravity and flies backwards 150 feet.
Okay.
What are you guys doing? Your turns? You also see that as he's going backwards, he takes this strange-looking sword and he throws it onto his back, and in the same swift action, swift motion, pulls out a bow and starts drawing an arrow.
Do we stay or do we go back?
If we go back, he's just going to be like, I can't control it. For me, it'll end like last time. You go back.
I guess Mortifer will try to grab him, and I would use wisdom to change gravity back to the one dude.
That dude? Oh,
Yeah,
think
the
of the guy
dude.
that. Think of your friend that's been gone for a while. He's
Friend.
like, that guy's gravity. Okay, close your eyes. You can't see it, so it does kind of affect the DC, but you roll your wisdom check. It doesn't work. Luckily for you, grabbing him is a move action, And thinking that guy's a free action. You still have your standard, Wade. Holding your
Can I
axe in
use my
one
standard to
hand,
roll to try
Uba in
again?
the other. Huh?
Can I use my standard to try again?
Yeah, I'm actually fine with that. Yeah. Oh, hold on, wait. It does say, hold on. Before I just want to double check one more thing. Wisdom check. It can be made once per round. Once per round is all you're allowed to try. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Is actually the rule.
So this guy is drawing an arrow to try to hit us 150 feet.
Correct. It looks like probably a longbow-ish. The design, the style, and whatnot is very strange. But so it probably has a penalty to hit you guys because of the distance.
Uba's pretty athletic. I'm gonna throw him at the dude.
Nice. So you grab Uba and you kind of what is it? Fastball special up there. Beautiful.
Yeah. I want to know quickly how much I healed from that crit before from my damage because I want to heal.
It was base damage. I forgot that you had that ability. It was you rolled here.
Every bit of damage he does, I believe he heals half the damage.
So hold on. How much damage, sir? 12 plus 16. Is it just your? Read me the power or pop it in chat, please.
I don't have it, but it just says Vampiric Blade as Claws of the Vampire. Okay, hang on. So if I go to Claws of the Vampire, you heal a number of hit points equal to half the base damage dealt by the weapon.
So 6.
Rounded down.
6 is what you would have done from the first attack.
Yep.
And because you have no modifier there, yep. And then from the second attack that you hit and hurt the guy, because you did hit a second time, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your second attack? I can't find it.
One was before
Jake,
initiative
here it
and
is,
one was
here it is.
after.
Wait. Oh, before initiative too. Sorry.
No, I healed the first one. I healed, I think, already.
Okay, cool. Then it was 6 the second time. Then you're good.
6, yeah. Okay, so I gotta heal another 6.
Even on the crit, you only healed 6?
Yep, because it's base damage. It has nothing to do with like his link damage and all that other stuff. All right, cool. So you healed something.
Everything
So
sounds cool until you actually use it.
make a ranged attack, Wade. That's the button that says ranged on your character sheet.
I don't
Middle
have
left.
that. I've got Pylum.
Middle left. Yes, you do.
Ranged. Okay.
Are you happy with your 9, Wade? Since you didn't inevitable strike it.
That was my 9 good enough.
Can I use
I see what you're trying to do.
acrobatics
I see what you're trying to do.
as he throws me?
He's planning
move it?
he's planning trajectory first. Wade, your trajectory is off. It is not good enough. Would you like to modify that? A 10 is good enough. You are off by only a little bit. It's actually perfectly fine. You hurl him at the guy, no problem. For you, Jake, this is considered a charge attack, but you're going to have to make an acrobatics check for me before you're able to do an attack roll.
I feel like he was good at those, so I think I made the right choice.
Okay, not amazing, but not horrible. You are able to get an attack on this guy as you approach him, but you're still going to slam into him. Make your attack.
What is currently gravity for him in either rock? So it's not like that guy's gravity. He's just going at the speed I threw him, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's a beautiful chance to hit, sir. Roll your damage. Luckily for you, you're going to heal 3 more points of damage.
Not to be that guy, doesn't he have to roll the 1d10?
Oh, he does.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's all good.
Technically, you would have to roll a 1d10 too to see if you missed him when you threw him at the blood. No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, that wasn't an attack roll. That was just to get him in.
Just kidding.
No.
You miss him, but luckily, Wade threw you at him. Now, he's moving backwards. Wade threw with enough force to throw you over there. So I would say that the distance that you traveled, the force that he threw at you, I'm going to say, Wade, could you do me a favor? Can you roll me 4d6 damage, please?
4? I thought he was only 150 feet. Isn't that 3?
You're right. Yeah, we'll do 3d6 damage. You're correct. 3d6 damage plus your strength.
Oh, no. That's going to hurt. Is it a space before the plus or just plus?
Just plus.
My strength modifier?
Yeah. 16. You did an okay job with your acrobatics check. And so you actually are going to take, we're going to remove some of that right there. We'll take 4 off. You take 12 points of damage when you smash into him. He takes the full 16, and he was very injured beforehand. Who would like to describe exactly how this plays out?
This is Mortifer's plan, so this is Mortifer can do that.
Mortifer, don't forget to incorporate his miss.
Yeah, so I imagine Mortifer was not even thinking about having Uba hit the guy. He was just like, just kill him already, and just throws him, assuming he's going to come back down. And as he's like, he sees Uba going in for the attack, like blades out, and then like Uba can tell the blades are like slightly off, I think. So last minute he pulls up and just puts his feet out, and the dude's like ready to swing again. He's pulling his bow, and then he just sees Uba's feet coming like however fast right into the dude, and Uba collides feet first, but then kind of slams into the rest of him, maybe like face into stomach or something. And so Mortifer sees the splat and doesn't know which one of them it was that splatted from the distance, and is hoping that Uba's okay. He's like, Uba was hurt. Perhaps this was not a good idea.
The guy careens off for just goes flying, careening off. No, his gravity he chose is that way. That's the way his body's now flying. And as well with some other sideways, trajectory because of the smash. Uber travels up a little bit more, stops, and then. Now, Mortifer, do me a favor while you're waiting for that to happen, because it takes a couple moments. Roll me a perception check.
Sorry if I killed you again, Uba. That's not good. 15.
You notice that the other peoples are kind of like, you look up, you see that, you look down for a second to like look around. You notice that the people on the ship have now stopped working and are looking over in your direction, and all of a sudden you start seeing about a dozen of them jumping off the ship with these big, like, huge jumps where, like, gravity doesn't exist for a few moments, and then all of a sudden it does, and it pulls them down to the ground to do almost like
then
Hulk
Mortifer
jumps.
will yell, Uba, it's time to go. Hurry up.
Oh, he's coming. And Uba's now coming at you at the speed of about 300 feet around.
Change your
way
you fall.
What was that?
Can I not try and slow myself down?
You can't.
You can try to reorient where gravity is from, I think, right?
You can. You cannot affect your how strong the gravity is. That's something that doesn't exist on this plane. It's against the mechanics.
You could think of the Rock or the Dude again, though.
You can think of the guy you just smashed into.
Yeah,
He's
that's
not
the
far.
only thing I can think of.
All right. Make me a wisdom check, sir.
You'd also yell out, catch me.
That's a dex kind of check, right?
Yeah, it is.
What is that? Wisdom, that's right.
Yeah.
I hope your
May the
wisdom
force
check
be
is
with
high.
you.
Please don't be a TPK from a good plan. It's a TPK from a good plan.
So luckily it's 300 feet around. He threw you over 100 feet to get there. So we're talking, because of the way things work, is literally, this is the last possible moment right before Mortifer is going to either catch you, miss you, or you splat the ground. So I'm going to tell you, if Mortifer doesn't catch you, we're talking like right before you hit the ground, you get one more try. That's all you'll get. Okay?
Yep.
Okay? Mortifer, you're welcome to make a reflex save to catch him.
Reflex?
Yeah. I mean, he's a decent sized thing. You actually can catch him. That's the good news. Did you ever hear the argument about Superman catching Lois Lane as she fell from the building?
Yeah, it always worked.
Yeah, in the movies. Because, catching somebody like this with velocity is not necessarily a good thing. Your reflex save is good enough to catch him. That definitely happens. But it's not good enough to completely, because you didn't roll so high, you're able to kind of like swing and divert some of the gravitational. Unless you want to spend power points to catfall the catch.
I don't know if I can do it like that, can I?
I'm allowing you to do that, like to kind of like.
I don't have that many, but sure. I'll spend how many
How many would you like to use?
I can use up to like 6.
It's up to you how many you want to use. 6 would take care of everything if you were falling.
The problem is, even if this works, we still have to go elsewhere.
Correct.
Just do whatever Mortifer would do. If you just do that, just do it.
Mortifer cares about his companions. He would do it.
But you haven't known Uber that long, really.
No,
Yeah, but you're all he has.
Yeah, you're all he has. 6 power points.
You don't have to use all 6. If you're saying I'm going all in, you can actually use 3 and it'll do the job. So because of the reflex save. So you actually grab him, you expend all 3 power points, you kind of grab him and just kind of like, I got you. And like he's hit, and almost like you see it happening as it happens, and you allow like the force of your hands to be dispersed. So it's literally one of those things you can feel your skin, kind of like if somebody would just take like a really narrow tubed leaf blower to like your hand. You can feel like the ripples, like almost like a massage as it ripples around your hand with incredible force up your arm. You can feel like your pecs rippling with the force distributed amongst your own body there, Mortifer. But neither of you take damage. You catch him, and you've got him in your hands. What do you choose, Mortifer?
What were the 2
You can still see that body careening off to the side. You can maybe try the that other person that flew off before. It's up to you what you want to choose in the immediate now to start going.
Can I just say the opposite direction, like the direction we came from, just that way?
Well, you can just say up if you'd like, because you don't know where you came from, because you were falling towards this.
Well, we
place
landed
opposite.
on one half of this statue thing.
Correct, but you just transported there, as opposed to
just
landing there.
Then just up is fine.
Okay, then you roll me that wisdom check, sir. And it just up works. So it's almost like one of those.
I'm holding Uba as we go.
You rise up. Uba, roll me a perception check. And you feel the G-forces, by the way, again, Uba. You notice as you're rising up, though, you don't get to see much detail. You just notice people are swarming the rock. There's a group of them swarming the rock, and they're all pulling out bows. Swarming the rock, they're pulling out bows as they start like running up the rock, like literally just because the rock is now down, and then they're on top of the rock, and they're pulling out bows, standing on top of the rock, aimed up at you guys, and getting ready to fire. What do you guys do as this happens? Ignore turns. What are you guys doing as they're standing atop the rock and ready, aim, fire?
I didn't get to roll a perception, so unless he tells me about it, I wouldn't even know.
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
I would have said straight away. They're trying to.
My apologies, Mortifer. You just know. Your perception was high enough before, and you knew they were coming. You would have tossed a sideways glance there. You see it as well. My apologies. I didn't say that.
Well, there's no diddly darn damn thing I can do, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't have any ranged stuff, but I'm feeling like the pull. I'm gonna have to try and orientate myself towards, like, while I'm attached to Mortifer, probably Mortifer.
I would try to shield Jack's body and Uba's body, and I guess expose my own back to the attacks.
Okay. So you orient yourself, sir. You do that wisdom check first. That works, no problem for you, Uba, because you get that +6.
Oh, I thought you guys said I had to orient myself with a wisdom check. Sorry.
No, you're fine. And then you are able to easily provide him total cover. You can grab him and just kind of like hold him into yourself and turn your back towards kind of like fighting against gravity or whatever it is. But it's funny enough.
I can stand on Mortifer. I can attempt to. I mean, I got a really high AC.
Yeah, AC doesn't really mean much. You know what I mean? So, because you don't have a ranged weapon anyways, do you?
No.
So he's actually holding you, so it doesn't matter what your orientation is. You got big meaty hand holding you. So he's got you. He's kind of like shielding you. He exposes his back. Mortifer, your wisdom check actually is really good there.
Thanks.
You don't just like kind of like twist and move yourself in a way to kind of like hold him there. You actually perfectly orient yourself, so your body seems to shift and pull itself in such a way that it's like, and your back is perfectly exposed to it. So it's going to be what takes the hit because that's what you want it to. And a volley of arrows come flying through the air towards you. I'm just going to make a quick little check right here, sir.
Okay. It's an AC of 19 right now.
Yep, that's fine. And Mortifer, because you're able to perfectly orient yourself, why don't you make me a reflex saving throw? Because I'm doing a volley, not a bunch of attacks. Those arrows come flying through, and you're actually able to circumvent, sidestep almost all of them. you actually take only... Whatever. You take 2 points of damage.
That's
And
my
what-
DR.
What's your DR? All the arrows come flying toward you, either missing or whatever, because you kind of like shift yourself, and it's literally it's a weird thing that you experience, Uba, because literally your gravity beneath you is shifting. So Mortifer kind of grabs you, holds you to his chest, exposes his back perfectly. He kind of like looks over his shoulder, sees the arrows coming, and then in the point of space where he just kind of like shifts over, kind of bends sideways slightly, and most of the arrows kind of just go flying past him because of just how he kind of just quickly reoriented himself in such a way that the arrows are able to go past him. Mortifer kind of like tapping deep within himself, realizing he has pretty good control over himself when he concentrates the right way in this world. And the last 2 arrows that would have struck him just kind of like tink off of how thick and strong his skin is because the telekinetic barrier he has on him. And the two of you, just up, continue careening away. They try to take another attack, but honestly, they can't do anything. And they don't immediately follow after you. They just don't. Why would they? They'd just be dumb to have 12 people jumping into space, hoping to catch up to you. That'd be ridiculous. So as you guys continue flying just upwards towards space, I'm not sure what the plan is. But you actually do see that one corpse kind of like flying off that way a good distance out. But what's the plan from here?
I'm gonna try to think of that. I'm gonna keep trying to think of that guy to head back to that guy that we met.
After a couple of moments, you're actually able to kind of like concentrate on it. We'll just say you succeed after a few moments or so, and just all of a sudden,
Mortifer's.
you feel gravity
I'm
beneath your feet.
completely wiped out of basically everything. So if we can take time, just float in space for 8 hours and take a long rest, Mortifer probably needs it at this point.
Oh, that's funny. You think long rests are a thing?
Short rests were.
Not
And the
exactly.
astral plane.
Not exactly. You were able to, over a period of, time, spend a mythic point to get powers back. You can still do that. But Uba got nothing.
Well, if we fight somebody, I can slowly get HP back.
You just gotta get out. You gotta get out.
Yep. So you change your
I'm
direction.
gonna have to use a mythic point and do that because we're not gonna be able to land if I don't. So I'm out of mythic points. I am very ordinary again.
Well, you that was your last one?
Yeah, I had 1 left. Before I use it though, I've got 4 power points. I think I can use that for body adjustment to heal myself up a little bit more.
Sure. Do that before you do exactly as you just said. I think that's 2d12 or 3d12 or something like that.
Just 1d12. I would need
4
5
points?
power points to get.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I can.
But you still have 1 left. May the roll be with you, Wade.
It doesn't matter.
4. Cool.
It was just why waste it?
Yeah. I hear you. Trust me, I'm right there with you with that whole expend all of your spells last second before your character goes to sleep that night. I want to look at something really quickly. Yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, you're good. So, and you still have a lot of vigor on you, don't you? You still have all of your vigor on you, I think.
Yep, all 45.
Cool. So you didn't take any damage. Uba didn't take any damage, I don't think, either.
Well,
actually
he
just healed
did
some?
from the.
Well, yeah,
fall.
but from your throw, not from these bad guys. So, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I'm actually putting 2 health back on because I forgot my DR. So
These creatures that you fought, it's not that like they seem like they didn't know combat. The only reason why things went as well as they did, and you could tell by kind of like just thinking about it, maybe even conversing with one another, it's just that you got the surprise attacks off on them. If they got the surprise on you, things could have gone horribly differently. Or if you guys met them evenly in combat, despite how powerful individual characters are, these creatures still would have put up a good amount of fight, especially how it is that they seem to, with perfect accuracy, immediately be able to reorient themselves in any way that seems to be fit at the moment. It's kind of frightening, actually. I hope you guys enjoyed your first encounter with Githyanki in this campaign.
I love Get Funky.
Githyanki.
So I said, Get Funky.
Wade ruins all the cool stuff in D&D. He ruins everything.
Okay, we went to a bar called Ted Nugent's. So we've got Githyanki. I mean, you guys set it up. I just hit the ball out of the park.
Here's an image. Here's one image that you could possibly have for Githyanki. Let me just throw that into Lost Initiative chat for everybody to be able to see, in case they care to see an image by some artists rendering, because some artists.
Oh, they kind of look like they kind of like that one Star Wars race. The dudes with the it's actually the Sith that have like the red tendrils hanging down
True
from their chins.
So anyways, they're a really, really cool looking race, really nifty looking or whatever. But anyways, so you guys are still inside the astral plane. Still don't have Jack back, or someone joining you. You're careening back towards that guy. So next session when we play, which correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's in 2 weeks that we're playing again. I know I can't play next week, so we're definitely not playing next week. But I just want to confirm that we are going to be here 2 weeks, which is October 3rd. We're all here for October 3rd?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Did that guy just flat out run away, or did we tell him to go?
No, he's like, ah! As they started coming around the corner and everything, he's like, deuces, and like ran. And you know where he's going, because it's what happened last night. Because he was afraid of these people beforehand. So when you guys are attacked, he was like, deuces. He's going back to that orb that was there beforehand. So you guys are going to be able to think of him or the orb and head back in that direction, same as he did beforehand, and you'll get there.
All right.
Everybody's here for October 3rd, yes? Cool. So we'll be playing October 3rd. That's 2 weeks from today. Very excited to continue with this adventure. Very excited to see how things go. And this gave Mike a moment to really build the character concept that him and I have been talking about for a while, in case we can't save Jack. It gives him also time to think about this character, because right now, obviously, I know Mike is a PC. I've been playing with him for countless years. He's not in that character's mindset yet, because he still has a hope that Jack's here, and he is Jack.
I need to know. I need to know.
Yeah, Mike is Jack. And so for Mike to transfer his soul from one phylactery to the next, he needs to know that one is crushed and destroyed. So until we know what's happening, Mike is kind of in limbo leaning towards Jack.
Yeah, but I have a backup just in case.
So
We're gonna
anyways,
save Jack. I have an idea of what I'm going to do next session.
I'm excited.
well, we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes, because I'm going to say before we do our little round robin is that after the session ends, we're going to stick on and chat for a little bit longer, and we're going to make our first for this campaign after show conversation that we are going to have, like post chat stream thingy majiggy for all the patrons of $2 tier or above. That'll pop up on Patreon in a couple of days. So thank you if you choose to support us over there. If you're able to do so, we really appreciate it. But otherwise, thank everybody just for watching the show.
$2 a month, and you can access all these.
Yep, there will be a ton in there happening very quickly. Obviously, this will be the first one going in.
For like $6 a month for $2, right?
Yeah, just about.
About
4, 5, 6.
Yeah. Yep, about that. Mm-hmm. So anyways, let's do our round robin. I suppose since you didn't get to say anything all session, we'll keep it that way. Wade, what's going on for you on Saturday? Because it's a big day.
All right. Well, tomorrow I'm doing a stream, a sponsored stream for 7-Eleven, actually. 7-Eleven's got like a big pizza thing going on. I'm going to be doing a sponsored stream. I think I'm just going to be playing Days Gone, but they're sponsoring, which is really awesome. But most importantly, Saturday, as Scott said, I'm raising money for Extra Life. We're going to try to raise $10,000 for the Extra Life charity. We're starting at 2 p.m. Eastern, going all the way till probably midnight. I'm saying 10 p.m. Eastern, but if we're getting close to our goal or we hit our goal, we'll go till midnight. And I assume we will. I trust everyone out there to help support a great cause and help get us to 10K. So 2 p.m. Eastern, hopefully to midnight, maybe a little bit later because I'm always running late on things. We're trying to raise $10,000 for Extra Life. Extra Life works with a lot of hospitals around the country, supporting kids battling cancer, horrible things. But we got to go down. I was down there with Tyler. I don't know if Tyler's still in the chat, but Tyler and I, Molly. It was one of the last times I got to spend time with Tyler's mom before she passed this year, and it was a really great trip. Hanging out with Tyler, Molly, and Tyler's mom. But we got to go down there and meet a lot of the different kids. See a lot of the different people that are supporting the foundation, and it was awesome. I did like a little stream on my phone. I don't know if you guys saw that one or not, but just talking about some of the fun that we were having there and some of the great stories of the different kids that we got to meet. But it's one of those things where once you're there experiencing it, it just really tugs at your heartstrings, and you know it's a cause worth supporting. So it would mean a lot to me if you guys could come give some support to that this Saturday.
Awesome. Cool.
Twitch.tv/minion777.
Not Lord Minion. Did you lose your status?
Someone stole that username before I made a Twitch account.
That's okay. Mike made
I have it now. I had them destroyed
instead of lost initiative. I was like,
I had Twitch destroy that,
because Lost
that
Initiative
user.
was taken.
It's not
No.
anymore. Did you know that?
No, if we can get it switched, I mean, it's up to you.
It's honestly at this point, it's
Yeah,
just
but
confuse
the
people.
reason
That's how I
couldn't-
felt. I have the domain for Lord Minion 777 now. It's just like, why?
Doesn't it
just
disrupt
hit-
things if you do? Like, doesn't it make it so it's harder for people to find?
Apparently,
the
someone said I can change my nickname to that. Tyler, I think Tyler, someone said I could, but originally Twitch told me that if I switched over, I would have to like start from scratch on that channel and move everyone over.
I think what happens is all of your viewers, like all your subs and everything stay, but all of your viewers drop down to zero. Views, sorry, whatnot, drop down to zero. I did it before myself
Yeah.
because I don't know if you guys remember, I used to be Daleric Master, and Daleric finally became available, and I was like, yes, Daleric, got it. So
Yeah, something along those lines when I swapped from Matt to StarCraft to Matt Games too.
yeah. But come on, Wade, you're a big boy. You should be able to pull weight. It's like, yo, Twitch, hook me up, and they're gonna be like, no.
I was big on YouTube, and then YouTube. Everyone's happy with YouTube today.
Yeah, and everybody that goddamn platform, dude.
All right, and Jake, where do we find you?
You find me here and on Wednesdays on Scott's channel playing Pathfinder.
Yeah, it's a fun game, Kingmaker. Things went very interestingly with
That's a
decisions your
Pathfinder game
characters
too?
made recently. That one's Pathfinder, yeah. It's
cool.
a Kingmaker campaign. My own world, not like the module. That was interesting because your character recently did something seriously messed up. Spoilers. So if you watch that game, spoilers. His character made a promise to gather together all the guards and just like, yeah, we're gonna let everybody go. And then while they're all bound and like lying down or whatever, had them all executed right there as a power move against a noble woman that he was looking to put some. It was pretty messed up, actually. It was awesome. And Jake's defense
We
when
went in there. We went in there to save people that they captured of ours, and I never lost a single man.
no, you lost nobody. Injures, sure, but you lost nobody. People knocked out, dangling off of a cliff by rope, sure. Nobody died, but. To be fair, when chat and Discord blew up with like over 300 messages of people responding to us, Jake's defense was, and it was more or less just this, he copy and pasted the description of Inquisitor of the class into chat and was like, that's how it says it, that's how I play it. And it was like, that's about the best defense you could ever come up with. It makes sense. Like, it makes sense for the god and everything. So it's really good. And my name's Daleric. You can find me over on twitch.tv/Daleric, YouTube Daleric. Just find me over there, find me over here. There will be no Lost Initiative next week because, stuff is going on in people's lives over at cons and whatnot. But we will be coming back the week after that, and we're all looking forward to it. It was a pleasure hanging out with everybody. Look for the post-stream VOD. All right, everybody. Bye. Bye.
Bye, Mike.
That's fine. That's fine. Goodbye.
Bye.